ball. That's a tough one. You can hear the crowd. Wow, great defense by OG. Ball drop. I think that's a double dribble in my opinion, because it wasn't hit out of his hand by somebody else.
Tatum completes the three-point play. We're tied again. He's got 42. As we hit the halfway point here in the fourth quarter. Brunson takes strides, leans in, lobs it out to Anunoby. Dangerous pass with Holiday lurking. 6 on the shot clock. Anunoby a three-pointer. Puts it in! OG Anunoby with his fourth three-pointer. Knicks back up by 3. Tatum calmly brings the ball up the floor. He's been in these kind of games for years now. Tatum against Brunson. Drives, pulls back. Brunson stays with him. Ball knocked loose. Tatum finds Holiday. Shot clock winding down. Holiday on the drive. Gets inside and banks it in. Almost drew a foul as well. Holiday, right place, right time.
I think Jason Tatum is searching for that jump shot a little too much. He's losing control of that ball. Get off of it. Get it back. Reset.
What is up, motherfuckers and party people? How the hell is everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a great fucking day. Because I am. You know why? Because we got NBA playoff basketball. I kind of wish I was streaming this game, but that would have never happened. Even if I didn't go out to dinner with my friends, I would have been streaming the Red Sox instead, which would have sucked. Because they lost 14-2 to the fucking Tigers. So there's no universe where I would have been streaming this game. But yeah, I went out to dinner with my friends. That's why I didn't stream Red Sox. And I'm streaming this. You know?
Porzingis is always going to be free throw shooter throughout his career. 83%. Comes up way short that time. This Madison Square Garden crowd didn't have a chance to cheer in the fourth quarter of game.
But yeah, tonight we have the Warriors and the Timberwolves. It's game 4 of the series. The Timberwolves are up 2-1. But we have this game to finish first. This is the Celtics and Knicks. Knicks are leading 107-104 with 4.5 minutes left. So we gotta wait for this game to finish first. Hopefully this game finishes first and they don't move it to like NBA TV or ESPN2 or even worse, ESPNU. Because if it starts on ESPNU, I'm not able to watch the beginning of it. If it's on NBA TV or ESPN2, not that bad, you know? ESPN News, I also wouldn't be able to watch, I don't think. ESPN News. Am I able to watch ESPN News? No, I am not. So yeah, it would have to be either on NBA TV or ESPN2. Or just wait for this fucking game to end before you start the next one, which would make the most sense. You know? People get angry at, like, NBA games not starting on time. And it's like, the NBA doesn't care, but this is, like, the one time they do care. Is, like, when they shouldn't care the most, you know? It's like, wait there, you know? If anything, pull up the game on the screen so the fans in San Francisco can watch it. That way they're not just bored waiting around. They actually have a game to watch.
So they add savory seasoning and tempting buttery flavor into every delicious twist. Now that's enough to make you order a special delivery.
That seems like a lot.
But yeah, it's game 4 tonight. Timberwolves have a 2-1 series lead. Nobody's obviously going to clinch tonight. But yeah, Warriors are once again without Steph Curry. Not ideal. They lost the last game, but not as badly as they lost game 2. They lost game 3, 102-97. That was in San Francisco. And the starting lineups for tonight, the Golden State Warriors have Brandon Podziemski, Buddy Hield, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Trace Jackson-Davis in their starting lineup. The Minnesota Timberwolves have Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert, and Julius Randle in their starting lineup.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on home insurance by checking Allstate first.
All right, Dad, you ready?
Like you know to check under the carpet first, before ripping it all out.
Hardwood in 3, 2, 1. It's okay. It's under. No, it's under here.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Savings card. I should just get one of everything.
Everything. Fire everything. The Capital One Savings card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back. Yes, sir.
This is so nice.
3% cash back on chicken. 3% cash back on risotto.
Yes, chef.
Where's my food? Here, chef. Had a feeling you want to earn 3% cash back on dessert. What's in your one?
111-104, Jalen Brunson, 35 points, 11 assists, and Knicks in front, RJ.
Yeah, we talked about it in the open. What's the job? To keep it close, have other people be able to put you in this spot to get to Brunson. Either you are feeling pressure or you are applying pressure. And right now, the New York Knicks and Jalen Brunson are applying a lot of pressure on this Boston Celtics team, trying to put them in a position to be down 3-1.
Celtics are bringing up still plenty of time. Knicks in the penalty already. Celtics have only 2 team fouls. Jaylen Brown backward, lost the ball. Anunoby all by himself.
Damn.
Throws it down.
No Giannonobi.
And Tatum is
Might have
down.
just put that game away. 3 minutes left. 9-point lead. Oh, Tatum's hurt. Tatum's hurt. Tatum's hurt. That's not good.
Timeout, grabbing that right ankle. And that's the final timeout for the Boston Celtics, but more importantly, Tatum really shaken up. That
That's not good.
Sequence, turning the ankle, and you see the concern. Now Horford in the Celtics faces.
He called a timeout there himself. He was calling the timeout.
That's definitely not good, man.
42 points.
He's
for
probably
Tatum
going to be
tonight,
done for the year.
But right now in a great deal of pain.
That's
Hi.
terrible.
Okay, can we talk about this?
That is terrible.
Sure. Just add it and we'll talk.
Can you take a look at this giant hole?
That hole is easier to repair than it looks.
Gemini, I need help.
Okay, let's talk about how to get rid of that spider.
Run that back, Gemini.
Attach the braces to the support beams.
Attach what to what? Go back a step.
No problem. Let's go back to step 3.
We're on step 3?
In a world of rising prices, Nissan is lowering them on our two most popular SUVs. The always adventure-ready Pathfinder and our best-selling Rogue, a Consumer Guide Best Buy 11 years in a row. From
Yeah,
all
that's
US
not
factories to
good.
your driveway. Since 1983.
Not good at all.
Get a low $299
Dream night for Adam
Nissan
Silver,
Rogue,
yeah.
or get 0% APR for 60 months.
The Mavericks won the NBA lottery first pick, so they're gonna have Cooper Flag,
Well, it's very difficult to pursue anything, but that step forward, that false step forward, if he goes down immediately, we don't know what it is.
which is crazy. Everybody thinks it's rigged. I don't know. I don't really care if it's rigged. I hate the NBA draft lottery anyway. Oh yeah, Tatum's done for the year. He's done.
So Tatum probably back to the locker room. Obviously couldn't put any weight at all on the right foot.
That's not good.
Peyton Pritchard comes in. Under 3 to play. Knicks lead is now 9. Derek White to Brown. Brown lines up his 3-pointer. Shot one goal, rebound Bridges. Bridges making play after play here in the second half. Brunson calls out a fight, pitching right up into him. Again, the Celtics now out of timeouts. Obviously, they had to take that one. Brunson looking, step back, three-pointer.
And that'll do it. That'll do it. The Knicks will take a 3-1 series lead.
Brunson with 38.
12-point game right now.
And Pritchard lost it out of bounds. Nick Ball.
So they're just going to finish up this game. I'm assuming this game here will not start over on any other channel because this game's close enough to being over.
Jalen Brunson trying to put the Celtics to bed tonight.
Coming up on 2 minutes remaining. Look to take some time off the clock on each of these possessions with this 12-point lead. Brunson the drive. Inside Robinson. Knocked out of bounds. Still with Ball with 9 to shoot.
If you're Brunson, put that up on the rim. Because if you hand that off or drop that off...
So just under 2 minutes now. Knicks still have both their timeouts. Celtics are in the bonus. Celtics have no timeouts.
Knicks have outscored the Celtics 65-42 here in the second half.
You watched the Pacers game? I don't even know how that one went.
It's an handoff. Holiday with the steal. Still time remaining. Inside Brown. Easy layup and in. And it's cut to 10 with 1:49 remaining. Chasing, here comes the double team. That one deflected out of bounds. Knicks still have 2 timeouts remaining.
Oh, Tatum's on a wheelchair. Tatum's on a wheelchair, and he's crying.
As soon as we get an update,
that's terrible. Yep, that's... He knows.
Robinson getting an ovation. Had a very big impact on this game. Who's the try with a couple of threes. Brunson and Pritchard. Brunson on the drive. Ananobi gets inside and lays it up and in. It's back to a dozen with a minute and a half remaining. Pritchard launches a three-pointer. Back of the rim. Hart the rebound. And the fans starting to feel it here in the Garden. Brunson in the front court. Shot clock at 8. Brunson the drive, step back jumper. Won't go. Rebound Holiday, knocked loose. Picked up by Horford. Stolen by Hart, but Horford gets it back. And Pritchard the drive, coast to coast, lays it up and in. 10-point game, under a minute remaining. Celtics really need to foul if they can't get a timeout. They could miss free throws. But they're not going to do it. And the crowd starting to celebrate. Bridges can't get it. Towns a rebound and call for a foul with 38 seconds remaining. 5 fouls on Towns. Knicks on the verge of what you can
that's
say
a damn
is the
shame.
biggest win in 25 years in this franchise. And this, of course, could change everything. Watch the right foot. And right away he knew it. Couldn't put any pressure on it. Horford will go to the free throw line. Well, we saw in game
And Tatum's number 1 on trending right now.
Joe Mazzulla's team came in here to Madison Square Garden and had a championship response with a blowout victory to get within 2-1. The Knicks with an emphatic response themselves in a game they trailed by 14 in the third quarter. Another big second half comeback in this series. This will be the first home win after the road team won the first 3. Towns finishing touches. This crowd is so ready to celebrate as Pritchard knocks down the three-pointer. That makes it a 7-point game. Off the front court, and now the Celtics fouling. Of course, the Knicks make these free throws, game's over. They miss Celtics would still need a miracle. And no timeouts. Tom Thibodeau, you never know if he's up by 7 or down by 7.
Well, because the starters are always going to be in the game, as they should in this moment, to clear it up.
And that was only the first foul in the last 2 minutes.
So coming up immediately following this game will be our game.
As Tom Thibodeau will call
They're
timeout.
calling timeout.
Knicks on the verge of taking a 3-1 lead in the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Some of us dream in color, others in black and white. In some dreams, we're an observer. In others, we're the star. Dreams come in many forms. Find yours during Mercedes-Benz Dream Days with exceptional offers on the CLE Coupe, now through July 31st.
Well, the Golden State Warriors will try and do what the Celtics have come up short on. They'll try and tie their series in 2 games apiece. That's the next game coming up on our doubleheader. Warriors and Timberwolves. Minnesota up 2 games to 1. Steph Curry out. Celtics certainly hoping that Jason Tatum will not be out. Meanwhile, for Jalen Brunson, another playoff masterpiece, but he had plenty of help, Doris.
He sure did. Mikal Bridges, something flips in the second half of games because he struggles in the first or he's not involved, and then all of a sudden he puts his foot on the gas. He was brilliant when Jalen got his rest.
It's impressive. You got 3 guys with double-digit field goals. 11 field goals for Towns, 11 for Bridges, 14 for Brunson, and 8 for OG.
That number against the great Celtic team, to outscore them by that number, is so impressive. Dangerous inbound. Knocked away by Brown. Brown back to Pritchard. Pritchard looking to get a 3-pointer off. Does. Shot is up. No good. Rebound Brunson. And that will do it. Horford fouls Brunson with 10.1 seconds remaining. And now 19,000 plus. They're going to rise up and celebrate. These Knicks fans went through a lot of difficult years. They've waited a long time for a night like this, but the series is not over.
It's not over.
Stretch of the imagination, not against this Celtic team that are going home.
Even without Tatum, the team's still really good.
The health of Jason Tatum. Jalen Brunson getting the MVP chance. He is the #1 reason why the Knicks have turned their franchise around. Has been magnificent in the playoffs last year and this year. He has his team now 1 win away.
Just tune into ESPN for the game. Our game's coming up in just a few minutes here, right after this game ends. 10.1 seconds left on the clock. Brunson's going to shoot his 2 free throws, and that'll do it. Or he just shot. So he got 1 there.
Not enough.
Pritchard misses that, and that's the game.
This series is now 3 games to 1 in favor of the New York Knicks. So many former Knicks players, coaches, obviously. Time to celebrate as the Boston Celtics have themselves 1 loss away from elimination. The stretch of this game is like a heavyweight fight. Knicks and Celtics throwing roundhouse punches. But the 4th quarter, once again, for the 3rd time in this series, belong to the Knicks.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about in the open. You have such an elite late game finisher. Everyone has to show up to put him in a position to get you over the top. And yes, you had other contributions from people in the 3rd quarter, in the 2nd quarter, but it is impressive to watch this Knicks team answer from last game.
Jalen Brunson right now with Lisa Salters.
Jalen, I'm going to get to your guys, OG, Cat, Mikal, their performances, but I got to start with you. Just what changed with you when you came out of that locker room at halftime?
I don't know. Just found a way to make plays and get us going, and we got 1 more.
Could you feel yourself taking over the game?
No, I was just in the flow. I was just do whatever it took. I wasn't really thinking, trying to take over. I was just whatever we got to do.
Now your guys, Cat, OG, especially Mikhail, can you describe the impact that they had?
I mean, they played phenomenal. Didn't quit, kept fighting, and that's what's most important. Whenever you get in the hole, you can't quit, and we showed that.
Up 3-1 with a chance to close it out in Boston. How do you get that done?
You gotta focus. Just focus. It's gonna be a great place to play, great environment. You gotta focus. That's a great team over there.
Congrats on the win. Mike.
All right, Lisa. Again, it shows you how the momentum can switch so quickly. After 2 wins for the Knicks to start, people are saying the Celtics might be in trouble. And then the Knicks getting blown out. They said, will the Knicks win another game? And they come out and play maybe their best game of the season. But this is the key thing going forward.
All right, let's start this game.
Late in the fourth quarter, grabs that right.
Been sitting here for like 20 minutes.
Not put any weight on it. Carried off and back to the locker room. Obviously, still no update, but you could tell Tatum was in incredible pain after an incredible performance. It was another playoff gem for Jason Tatum, but it ends in agony. So now the Knicks up 3-1. Game 5 will be in Boston on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Indiana up 3-1. And that series goes back to Cleveland. 2 emphatic responses from these 2 Eastern Conference powers. Celtics did it in Game 3. Knicks did it in Game 4. Now they have a commanding 3-1 lead. Our producer Tim Corrigan, director Mike Schwab, of course, for Richard, Doris, and Lisa, and our standing crew. Coming up next, Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals, Timberwolves and Warriors from San Francisco. Right now, though, let's go back to the studio. We send it to Malika.
Are we sending it to the studio? Let's just go.
They're 1 win away from being back in the conference finals for the first time since 2000. They get it behind 39 points from Jalen Brunson. But of course, the unfortunate story of this game is Jason Tatum. On this play right here, he goes down with appears to be a non-contact injury and just absolutely collapses in an extreme amount of pain there. When he leaves the floor, he's not able to put any weight on it. You can see here just in absolute anguish in a game that he tied Larry Bird and John Havlicek for the most 40-point games in a postseason in Celtics franchise history. This is the way that he leaves the floor. Just gutting to see here, Brian, both as a basketball fan and just for Jason Tatum, your heart goes out to him.
Yeah, this is a seminal night in the NBA. A lot of fortunes changed hands tonight, and the Knicks were brilliant in the second half especially. They got contributions up and down their lineup. They got the game to clutch time, which is their mission. Mikal Bridges was amazing. Jalen Brunson carried them home. But the pit in the stomach is what we have in the defending champ and Jason Tatum, because Tatum was having an elite game. He was having a big fourth quarter. This was going to be potentially an iconic finish, and now the whole thing just feels deflating because, you know, I'm sure 7th Avenue right now in New York, I'm sure it's wild outside the Garden. I'm sure the fans are embracing this moment, and it is a moment to be embraced by the Knicks and their fans. But there's a dark cloud hanging over this, and that's what you can't get away from right now.
Jason Tatum finished with 42 points in this game, and as we just heard from Jalen Brunson, there is still at least one more game left to be played in this series. The Knicks are hoping to close this out. If, in fact, the Boston Celtics have to do it without Jason Tatum, who are you looking toward?
Well, they have the talent. You know, they're one of the most deepest teams in the top of the talent pool. Jaylen Brown did not have a good game tonight. He had foul trouble, was benched down the stretch because of it. Jaylen Brown has not had a good series by his standards. The door would be open for him to really come back and try to rescue the team. The concern that you have, obviously, is whether this is potentially a long-term thing for Tatum, and so you're thinking about that as much as you are thinking about this series. So the Celtics have proven that they can overcome odds. They've come back from situations before. The Knicks obviously respect that. But this is also a golden opportunity because, Malika, Indiana is up 3-1 in that series. That means that the Knicks, who in my view had the hardest draw.
Tip-off is 7 minutes away? Jesus Christ.
Potentially are 1 win away with the Pacers win as well from having home
court. Why are we waiting so long?
Game 5 is Wednesday. Of course, we will be joined by Sean Charania if we get any update or information here on Jason Tatum. This has been an exceptional postseason, Brian. Unfortunately, a couple of start injuries have popped up here, including in our late game tonight. The Golden State Warriors playing once again.
All right, well, I guess we'll be sitting here for another fucking 7 minutes before this game starts.
What will this come down to?
Yeah, so the Warriors just need offense. They need scoring. I know Jonathan Kuminga's picked it up the last couple of games, but they need something from their backcourt. Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody, Buddy Hield need big games tonight. And if you're the Wolves, you smell blood in the water here. You get this victory going home 3-1. You're in great position to try to close it out. So Ant Edwards has been in this position before. They've had success on the road. They've closed out teams on the road with big wins. You know he and Julius Randle are going to try to build on their great success coming down the stretch.
This is as much win as it gets for the Golden State Warriors.
I think so. I'm afraid to say it, yeah. Because you have to get to Game 6, and you've got to try to do it on your home court.
And they know it. The Timberwolves know it as well, and they're going to try to stop that from happening. We've got Game 4 from Shea Center coming up right after this.
The NBA Conference semifinals on ESPN are delivered by Chipotle.
Could have just, like, right after the Brunson interview started the game. I don't know.
For real. And in part by Google, proud sponsor of the NBA.
Hello?
Hi, I'm Gemini.
Okay, can we talk about this photo I just took?
Sure, just add it and we'll talk.
Can you take a look at this giant hole?
That hole is easier to repair than it looks.
Gemini, I need help.
Okay, let's talk about how to get rid of that spider.
Run that back, Gemini.
Attach the braces to the support beams.
Attach what to what? Go back a step.
No problem. Let's go back to step 3.
We're only on step 3?
You just got the $120 core fit you've been seeing all over your feed for $40. Which means you also just got the $120 confidence of someone who knows what they're doing for $40.
My bad.
Old ideas are everywhere. Left over from legacy thinking. If you're not careful, they can sneak into everything. But when you're not bound to the past, old ideas can't hold you back. Exquisite design with the soul of a sports car. The new GP70. Welcome to Genesis.
Tamara, Izzy, and Emma. They respond to emails with phone calls. And they don't circle back. They're already there. They wear business sneakers, pad their keyboards with something that makes their clickety-clacking clickety-clackier. But no one loves logistics as much as they do. You need Tamara, Izzy, and Emma. They need a retirement plan. Work with principals so we can help you with a retirement and benefits plan that's right for your team. Let our expertise round out yours.
Hey!
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Bateman when you need the protection of Batman.
Easy, Batemobile, not too fast, baby.
Never play with poison ivy.
Someone's a flirt.
Bateman, please.
So don't settle for just any insurance, man. State Farm.
Oh, I get it. Poison ivy.
The world is on the brink of war.
Work with me, Sam.
Honestly, I think for Tatum, it's worst case scenario. That's what I think. I really hope it's not, but...
Captain America. Caught in a trap.
Some people are saying his career is over. I don't think it's that much.
Come and get me!
Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
I think he's definitely done for the year.
Nick Jones steps up to the mirror, lines things up, towels off, checks his Fidelity app, looks to outside analysts to get a second opinion. Nate likes what he sees. Same page? And he places the trade before anyone hears him talking to himself.
Buy U.S. stocks and ETFs for as little as $1 with no commissions. Talk about easier investing.
It's Game 4 between the Minnesota Timberwolves and Golden State Warriors as we welcome you to the NBA playoffs presented by Google. It's the conference semifinals delivered by Chipotle. Minnesota looks to take a commanding 3-1 series lead over Golden State tonight at Chase Center in San Francisco. The Wolves' star tandem of Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle were spectacular in Game 3. Edwards had 36 points, Randle a triple-double. Golden State without Steph Curry for the third straight game, and Jimmy Butler, who had 33 points.
They've been sitting here for half an hour and the game hasn't started yet. It's a little ridiculous. You know, I always know that NBA games are never going to start on time. I usually prepare myself for 10 to 15 minutes after the hour. But, you know. Like, I'm one of the more patient people. A lot of people are like, man, this game should start right at the hour. Like, obviously that's not going to happen. But this is too long even for me.
And the Knicks, one game away from their first conference finals in 25 years. Minnesota will win tonight, would be one game away from its second straight conference finals. And Julius Randle, what he did the other night, along with Anthony Edwards, the best game they played together this year.
Timberwolves got contributions up and down their roster, but make no mistake, this was about the stars. They took over the game in the second half. You see the numbers on Anthony Edwards. Finally had that eruption we were waiting for. And then Julius Randle just controlled the action. As a playmaker, gave you the points, the boards, the defense. These two stars allowed Minnesota to regain home court advantage.
Meanwhile,
finally getting ready to start the game here.
For Butler and Kuminga, you look at what the rest of the team did compared to them the other night.
Well, Butler and Kuminga matched the two stars from Minnesota point for point. They need more help. Where's it going to come from? You take a look at two stars.
Like I said, Brandon Podziemski for the Warriors. Brandon Podziemski, Buddy Hield, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Trace Jackson Davis is their starting five. For the Timberwolves, it's Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert, and Julius Randle.
Same five as usual for Minnesota. Same five for Golden State from Game 3, with Trace Jackson Davis getting the start. Steph Curry out of the lineup with that hamstring injury suffered in the win in Game 1.
All right, let's start this shit. Come on.
Steve Kerr, Jackson Davis will start out on Julius Randle, trying to shut him down. Anthony Edwards, just 16 first half points in the series, 63 second half points. Mark Davis, Courtney Kirkland, Pat Frere. Our crew, Eric Dalen is the alternate, and Mark will jump it up.
All right, here we go. We got to go. You got it? Jax, you ready? Hey, Brett.
All right. Let's go. Come on. Guys, seriously. And lights out and away we go.
Minnesota will start with possession.
26 minutes after the hour. Been live for 32 minutes.
In the first round.
16 minutes after the reasonably expected start time.
Edwards keeps possession.
And here we finally go.
Edwards on the ball fake. We'll try a three.
And that's missed by Anthony Edwards.
He had just 2 rebounds fouled out. Draymond did with 5 minutes to go.
Draymond Green up and in.
Start for him with the first points of the game.
Well, the Warriors did something they didn't do in Game 2, and that's the lead.
They got him on Rudy Gobert primarily, so he can roll more defensively, but that's a nice start.
Jaden McDaniels looking around, going to shoot the 2, and it does not go. 3 rebounded by Jackson Davis. And Butler misses that, but he'll get fouled, so 2 free throws.
Did not score the final 8 minutes of that game, and he missed a lot of layups. McDaniels commits the foul, 2 free throws for Butler.
This is a big part of emphasis for the Golden State Warriors in this game, the push ahead. They did not really get anything in transition in Game 3 already. 2 quick pushes up the floor leads to an early jumper for Draymond, and now 2 easy ones at the line for Jimmy Butler.
Just 11 combined free throw attempts for Butler in the first 2 games. 9
There's the first one.
In Game 3.
Well, this matches Draymond Green's offensive output from Game 3. On his first possession of the night, he just had a very quiet game all the way around. He knows he's going to have to step up as a scorer in addition to all the other things he does tonight to help them win.
Butler missed the second free throw, played 43 minutes. Steve Kerr said he was exhausted at the end of the game. One of the reasons why he struggled offensively in the final 8 minutes.
Julius Randle for 2, he misses that. So Jimmy Butler had made one of those free throws, missed the second one. Draymond Green looking around. They pass that to Podzimski. Podzimski brings that up, and that falls.
Just one basket the other night.
Well, the two guys we mentioned at the start have to get offensive contributions from your starters.
Yeah, Julius Randle makes the 3.
Julius Randle averaging 23 points per game in the playoffs. Green goes right at the chest of Randle. Randle, year 11, spent the last 5 years with the Knicks, missed both playoffs last year due to injury.
And that goes in.
More than made up for it.
Tie up the game.
He's got all 5 here for Minnesota.
By Julius Randle.
Anytime he gets a switch with a smaller defender, he is just putting that shoulder down.
Podzimski gives it to Butler.
Passer as well, which we saw. Anthony Edwards hit the dagger 3 in that game 3 win.
Butler back to Hield. Hield looking around. Hield. Oh, tried to pass that to Jackson Davis.
Did not score in the first half of game 3.
Gets fouled.
14 points in game 4. He was the game 7 hero in the first round in Houston with 9 threes and that road win to win the first.
I guess he was in the act of shooting. It looked like he was trying to pass it to Jackson Davis, but I guess it was in the act of shooting. So 2 free throws for Buddy Hield.
Incredible performance out of Kuminga. So the challenge for the Warriors is just going to be offensively. Can you get to a number that gives you a chance to win? And if you're in the game, how do you close?
And if you're Minnesota, do you adjust
Buddy Hield missed the first one.
what you did the other night? Because without Steph Curry, obviously it's a lot easier to defend the Warriors. Or if you're Chris Finch, do you just stick with what worked?
I think he thought Jonathan Kuminga had a little bit too much.
And he made the second one.
They've hurt him all year, but they certainly didn't expect 30, and I don't know they think they can live with another 30 out of Kuminga. So he becomes a higher priority, and I think in general the way they're going to make Jimmy Butler play the crowd.
Edwards split the defenders, got fouled on the drive. That's the first on Golden State. It's on Jackson Davis, who played just 11 minutes in game 3, but had 7 points.
He backs at a home run.
Like I said, it was in the act of shooting.
That's what baseball teams do.
He had to gather that ball was coming off the floor in 2 hands. He just
Anthony Edwards missed that first free throw.
Which made it seem like he had the ball maybe on the ground another time or too low, but he had that ball up into the gathered and shooting motion when he had contact.
36th career playoff game for Anthony Edwards.
And made the second one. Tie game.
Game 3 had his 9th career 35 points.
So Julius Randle has 5, and Anthony Edwards has 1 for the Timberwolves so far.
Luka Doncic is number 1.
Yeah, I saw that. The new Pope at the 2005 World Series.
Hield immediately doubled. Shot clock down to 2. Butler sees it. Hoists the 3. Way off the mark. Out of bounds.
What's up, Daniel Barry? How you doing?
Golden State basketball.
Well, that set took forever to develop. They were trying to get Buddy Hield coming off a couple of screens to the strong side, but by the time that action was exhausted, you were deep into the clock, and Jimmy Butler was forced to take a 3 at the end of the clock.
Hield. Shot clock down to 5. Finds Butler.
Butler gonna pass that off to Jackson Davis. Jackson Davis back to Hield. Hield for 3, off. Rebounded by McDaniels. They almost lost it with the pass back to Randle. Pass to Randle. Randle's looking around.
Gobert, the nearest defender in that final frame.
Gonna pass it to Conley.
Shot clock down to 5 for Minnesota.
And Anthony Edwards up and misses that. Gobert tried to get it back in, but nope. Going to be brought back by the Timberwolves. And timeout. No timeout. Whistle.
Clock issue.
Clock issue.
For the stoppage, with the shot clock at 21. Minnesota struggling from the floor early on, 2 of 7. Warriors are 2 of 5. Warriors 0 for 2 from 3. They didn't make a 3 until the second half. of Game 3. Ended up hitting 10 rather, in that second half.
Yeah, Golden State's defense kept them in the game the other night. It does most nights. But then the Stars from Minnesota just...
And Julius Randle misses that one. Going to be rebounded by Jackson Davis. Pass to Green, pass to Podziemski, pass back to Jackson Davis. Podziemski with it again, trying to shoot it, and he makes it.
Great sign for Golden State with Podziemski, already with more baskets here in the first 4 minutes than he had all of Game 3.
Anthony Edwards for three, and he makes it.
Pushes home a 3-ball.
Very important for Golden State when you get penetration along the baseline from one side of the floor. Anthony Edwards loves to run to the corner on the opposite side. That whole drive-based, kick-based mentality. Anthony Edwards, such a threat. You cannot lose contact with him.
Delay of game warning on Minnesota. The next one would be a technical foul and a free throw for the Warriors. Butler trying to shake McDaniels. And now Hield rises
Buddy
up.
Hield misses that. I always find delay of game penalties really funny because it's like if you delay the game, you're gonna like get a technical foul, which means the other team shoots free throws, thus further delaying the game. Like, it's so weird to me. Your punishment for delaying the game is that we're gonna further delay the game.
Game 3 because of how well he played in Game 2. They need more size and athleticism, and he can do this. He's a big body. You throw it into him. He's athletic. He can get off the floor. I think on Julius Randle, though, I'm not trying to take a foul right there this early in the game on that. You're in a compromised position. Very difficult to make a play there. Give up the layup and keep that.
So 2 free throws for Jackson Davis. Misses the first one.
Jackson Davis shoots under 40% from the floor here in the postseason.
Here's what I'm talking about. You see Buddy Hield turn his head to watch the action as Mike Conley was driving baseline. Anthony Edwards went into a lull, and it gave Buddy Hield a false sense of security when he turned his head.
And he makes the second one.
The open spot and knocked down the 3.
Well, Jackson Davis 1 of 2, now 5 of 13 at the line of the playoffs. The Warriors tonight are just 3 of 6 at the line. Tie game, 5 minutes in, 9 apiece. Warriors trying to even the series up, which would help get Steph Curry back. They'll be reevaluated on Wednesday. That's the day of Game 5. Then there's a 3-day off period before Sunday's Game 6 when he might be able to return. Empty possession.
That's if we see a Game 6.
Again, pushing tempo as Steve Kerr wants.
Jimmy Butler gonna pass that off to Podziemski.
In the opening 2 minutes. Podziemski against McDaniels.
And Podziemski shoots the 2, and it's off. Rebounded by Butler. Back to Podziemski. Back to Butler. To Draymond Green. Draymond Green for the 3, and he makes it.
Three-point shooting for Draymond. We know he could come and go and streaky. He had 4 of them in Game 1. Good start tonight on his first 3-point attempt.
He's got 5 points for the Warriors. McDaniels going at Butler, rises up over him, and cans the 15-foot J.
Well, I'm so impressed with what he's added to his game. He was primarily just a spot-up three-point shooter or slasher. Even mid-season, he has added the ability to do that. Get you a shot off the dribble, find a spot.
And from three-point range, he's shooting 40% of the playoffs. Catching traffic, Butler, swing by Kate. Podziemski now on the 3.
And Podziemski misses the 3.
Quick outlet, Conley.
Back to Conley. Conley for 3. And Conley makes the 3. Timeout, Warriors.
Minnesota with 5 quick points to retake the lead.
Similar start as the other night. Trading baskets here early. Draymond Green, you know he was going to be more aggressive after Game 3. And Mike Conley says, thank you, please. I don't get many of these.
Excuse me. Play you for those ultras? Well, we're kind of high level.
Fascinating.
Ice cold.
At Avis, we rent cars, unlike anyone else rents cars. Because for 75 years, we've only had one plan. To make sure you keep yours.
Sure, yeah, come.
Don't worry. Dash Pass saves you money on DoorDash. so you can skip the trip to the grocery store and stay right where you need to be. Dash Pass by DoorDash. Your door to more savings.
Let's go hear from our citizens of the law.
Happy grass, happy home.
So what do you do?
Regular feeding, it makes all the difference. Scott's Weed and Feed. The product is incredible.
Now's the time to kill existing weeds with Turf Builder Weed and Feed.
Feed it. Feed it. Oh, these Katie's are fire.
Hey, D, you work here?
Whatever, kid.
Take notes. Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
As long as probably forever there's only been one Frosty. Because what would we even do? Add a bunch of new swirls and mix-ins like Oreo cookies or Pop-Tarts pieces? That's kind of genius, actually. For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
In a world of rising prices, Nissan is lowering them on our two most popular SUVs. The always adventure-ready Pathfinder and our best-selling Rogue, a Consumer Guide Best Buy 11 years in a row. From our U.S. factories to your driveway. Since 1983. Get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% APR for 60 months on Pathfinder.
Oh, it's the Capital One Bank guy.
That's me.
So, what do you do outside of the Capital One Cafe?
What do you mean? No fees on checking accounts, no overdraft fees. Help me sleep at night. What's in your wallet?
Huh? Nature sure is full of wonders. Red Bull gives you wings.
When you see a car, you can find it on Auto Trader. Even my TV detective car. Just put your info in the Kelly Blue Book My Wallet, browse personalized monthly payments from dealers in your area, then start and finish the deal online. Case closed.
Welcome back to the conference semifinals delivered by Chipotle. When Jimmy Butler joined the Warriors, Steve Kerr did not like when Butler and Jonathan Kuminga were on the floor together. So much so, it led to Kuminga falling out of the rotation entirely. But this morning, Kuminga said he learned a lot from his time on the bench. Just watching Jimmy play, how everyone moved around him. Kuminga also said he watched a ton of Jimmy's film, and the more he studied, the more he understood how he needed to play alongside Butler. He just needed a chance to be able to prove it. So when unfortunately Steph went out, Kuminga stepped in, and he hasn't missed a beat, which is a testament, you guys, to Kuminga handling a very difficult situation the right way, Dave.
Katie, it's really a great story. He dealt with injuries for most of the year, and by the time he came back, Jimmy Butler had already been playing with the Warriors for a month, so it was hard for him to adjust. And as you said, at the end of the regular season, he was benched, and we didn't know we'd even see him in the playoffs, but now he might be their second most important offensive player.
And against a team this long and athletic defensively, you need Kuminga because he can do things like that. Improvise offense.
That'll tie up the game.
Size and his ability to get off the floor, even against bigger backline defenders. Great start, just second in the game, first touch, gets a layup.
22-year-old in his fourth NBA season, former number 7 overall pick. Azari checking in the game.
Good pass that back to McDaniels. McDaniels gonna shoot that, gonna miss it, but gets fouled. 2 free throws.
First on Green.
Or Jalen McDaniels.
Second on the Warriors.
It's just an overzealous Jay McDaniels. You know, it's just a
So Jay McDaniels to shoot free throws.
shot if he makes that. Jay McDaniels is too valuable to the Warriors to risk a foul on a contest on that type of shot. But there you see Kuminga, David, what we're talking about, picking up right where he left off on Saturday.
He had 18 points in game 2. And then that sensational game 3. Michelob Ultra Zero is bringing fans chances to win prizes throughout the NBA playoffs. Scan for your chance to win. Daniels made the first free throw. Minnesota now 3 of 4 as a team at the line. The Warriors are 3 of 6. Minnesota by 2. 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. And Draymond Green, the primary ball handler with this group on the floor. Here's Pajemski, 2 field goals tonight. None in the first half of game 3. A foul on DiVincenzo. Been a struggle for Dante DiVincenzo. Really been a non-factor so far in the series.
Really smart play by Pajemski. They ran a little bit of a counter to their typical post-split action. He set the screen for Draymond and then peeled right back to the ball. DiVincenzo was trailing and he just wanted so desperately to get out on the closeout. Podziemski saw it, drew the foul.
Podziemski tries to get that in, but misses it. Anthony Edwards gets the rebound. Gonna pass that to Randall.
Gonna back down Draymond Green. Now falls away. It's good. Julius Randle with 7 early points.
Julius Randle gets that in there.
He hasn't been missing, and it's the area of the floor he's been giving the Warriors a nightmare with.
Jackson Davis with the block.
Jackson Davis gets the dunk. Let's be clear. Jackson Davis, that is not his full name. His name is Trace Jackson Davis. His last name is Jackson Davis.
2 threes in the game and 10 of the 21 Minnesota points.
Big smile.
Julius Randle just got the 3 there.
Right now the game is very easy for Julius
The Warriors are in the bonus for the remainder of the first quarter. Draymond Green for 3.
Draymond Green, 2 for 2 from deep. They double Randle. He lost it out of bounds. First turnover for Minnesota tonight.
And I like that. I think when Julius Randle starts to operate and you give him too many dribbles, even that far out of the floor, and he's going to get in into the area of the offense where they score, and he's going to facilitate picking apart. So I thought that was a well-timed double team coming out of that spin, and then Warriors forced a turnover.
Jimmy Butler back on the floor. They got him a little rest here in the first quarter. Green will take a seat. Looney's out there now as well for the Warriors. Butler just 0 for 1 from the floor.
Butler's going to pass that to Kuminga. Kuminga's going to miss it.
It's a good find, but I think Jimmy Butler had an opportunity there to score inside 5 feet.
Randle thought he was fouled, missed the shot. Podziemski quickly up the court. Kuminga with the step and kick. There's Payton for 3.
And Payton makes the 3. Gives the Warriors the lead. Timeout Timberwolves. Got Albert Einstein in the fucking crowd.
Choose adventure. Then dive right in.
I'm feeling
And after that,
really.
choose
That Tatum injury, man.
It's your
That's
fault.
fucking me over, dude.
You can choose a change of
That's
scenery.
tragic.
Or choose a change of pace. The Mazda CX-50 Hybrid lets you go farther. What you choose to do with those extra miles is up to you.
The history of winning started with the 65 Gators losing steam, losing sweat.
We've identified the problem. What is the solution?
A drink scientifically designed to hydrate better than water, so they can sweat more, win more, and change the game forever.
Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
What's this?
That's for Pepper.
You keep dog food in your fridge?
It's not dog food, it's fresh pet. Real meat, real veggies.
It's dog food.
You were so right about her.
2 cities with rich history. 2 teams looking to seize the moment. Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Will the Knicks push through? Or will the Celtics assert their dominance? The NBA playoffs, round 2. Knicks Celtics, Wednesday on TNT.
Oh my.
To be a pet parent is to be human. Sometimes we feel guilty. We can only do so much. That's why more and more pet people rely on Hills, with scientifically proven formulas to give more love than humanly possible. Because you're only human, there's Hills. Science does more.
If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault and you don't have an attorney, don't go it alone. Take action. We have legal professionals standing by to help you and let you know what your case is potentially worth. Hi, I'm Paula Haddock, your spokesman, Rob Wolf. So who at home should be calling in right now?
Well, just like you said, Paula, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, if you do not have an attorney, call us right now. We're going to answer all of your questions, and we'll let you know what your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Rob. Take action and call now.
Check out tonight's winning ingredients delivered by Chipotle.
Well, the Warriors did not have a single made three in the first half of game 3. Already 3 tonight. Draymond Green with a pair, and then Gary Payton steps up and knocks one down as well. 7 different Warriors have scored to this point. So you're getting other contributions. As a result, Jimmy Butler right now with 1 point, and he doesn't look as aggressive as he did at the beginning of game 3. And I think possibly, as long as they're in the game and managing the game like this, he may be conserving some energy for later because he ran out of gas, I believe, down the stretch the other night.
6 assists on 8 made baskets for the Warriors. You mentioned the 3 made threes. Minnesota, meanwhile, is 4 of 5 from three-point range. Julius Randle, 2 of 2. He's got 10 points. Draymond Green with 8 to lead the Warriors. It's game 4. Minnesota's up 2-1 in the series. Game 5 will be Wednesday night in Minneapolis. Wolves trying to sweep this 2-team set out west as DiVincenzo hangs with Piston. Gobert can't tip it in, but he was fouled. It'll be a loose ball foul. It's on Butler. That's his first.
That's so difficult when Rudy Gobert just gets entrenched in this area of the floor. To get him out of there for so long, quick off his feet. First one to the ball right there, created by DiVincenzo's drive. There's a void there when the shot blockers go to help.
Naz Reid shooting 50% from 3 in the postseason, but drives here and kisses it home off the glass. He's probably one of the more underrated offensive players in the league.
Well, that's the toughest shot he has made in this series. That was an incredibly difficult runner off the glass. Still got it up there soft.
Kuminga attacking, got bumped. Just the shot that'll go to the line.
All right, 2 free throws for Jonathan Kuminga.
6 free throws. First foul on Reid. 15 fouls.
Now, Saturday, Naz Reid did all his damage from the three-point line, and he puts it down this time. And that is reminiscent of a shot you would typically see from Anthony Edwards. So Naz Reid going into his bag here early to get something on the board.
And Kuminga nails the free throws. We look at our upcoming playoff schedule.
All right, so we made the first one.
Party runs. TNT tomorrow night. Can the Pacers win in Cleveland and knock off the team with the best record in the East and go to the conference finals for the 2nd straight year? Meanwhile, Denver at Oklahoma City.
I might do Denver and OKC tomorrow night. I don't want to say for sure, though. Obviously, depends on when the Red Sox end or my mood after that game.
Loss to the Knicks. Game 4 tonight at the Garden. New York is up 3-1 in that series. Here's Edwards.
Anthony Edwards for 3 off the rim. Looney got the rebound. Going to pass that to Kuminga.
Kuminga 4 points off the bench. Butler.
Kuminga to Looney. Looney to Butler.
1 assist, 1 rebound. Butler gets inside his defender, spins and tries to
and Butler loses that.
Got hit in the face, and he's still doubled over on the other end. Reid underneath. That ball hit the net. He tried to
Picked
get
up by
it to
Naz
it.
Reid. And Anthony Edwards tried to shoot that. He misses.
And Edwards touched it while he was out of bounds.
Oh,
so
come on.
it's Warriors ball.
Well, give the Warriors credit
Really?
there. They only had 4 defenders as Jimmy Butler never made it over half court. Kevon Looney going vertical to get that contest.
And you saw Steve Kerr egging on Jonathan Kuminga to get into the front court and run. And
Kuminga made that error.
Kuminga to the basket. He's 2 for 3 from the floor.
They don't want to play against Minnesota's half-court defense all night. That is why Steve Kerr is going to be telling them to push at every opportunity.
And that was an air ball. Donovan DiVincenzo.
20% from three-point land in the playoffs. 3-point lead for the Warriors. Kuminga to the foul line. Backs away.
And Kuminga up and in. Wow, it looked like it was not going to go in.
Kuminga providing a huge spark again off the bench for Golden State.
He's so patient right now.
Hey, man, if the Warriors could tie up this series, Steph gets reevaluated Wednesday. Could be back Wednesday night. But, you know, if they could win this game and keep this series from, you know, like, it would definitely go to a game 6.
They're so tough with that step back because you're
That'd be even better.
worried about him searching the corner on you. So as you retreat, he puts on the brakes and separates with the lead back.
But if they have like 3 days off.
Corner 3, Payton, way off the mark.
Yeah, Gary Payton missed that.
10 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. Edwards fouled by Payton. They had one to give. That's his first personal. Side out of bounds with 4.1 left here in the quarter. They're going to get Draymond Green back in the game for defense and take Buddy Hield out.
Important here defensively, no matter what happens, that Draymond Green does not pick up his second foul in this last 4 seconds of the opening quarter.
Inbound to Alexander Walker. 3 seconds left. He drives and scores against Draymond Green. 1 second left.
1
Baseball
second
pass
remaining.
down court. Payton with the catch.
Oh, and that falls out. That almost went in at the last second.
But the Warriors have a 1-point lead after 1. Draymond Green and Jonathan Kuminga with 8 points apiece for Golden State. Julius Randle has 10 for Minnesota. Warriors trying to even the series at 2 games apiece.
I feel good because of that.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know, to check your car's not on empty first, before going through the drive-thru.
I forgot to fill up.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and save when you click or call.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Oh yeah, great day.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
There's nothing as American.
That's going to end the first quarter. The Warriors are up 28-27 over the Minnesota Timberwolves as we get ready for the second quarter here from San Francisco, California.
Smashing a burger. The Sonic Smasher.
At AT&T, we confidently guarantee our network. Staying close with your college bestie, not guaranteed.
It's been a long
I wish we played together forever.
without you, my friend.
Hey, Dante. Catch.
A connection means something. That's why with AT&T, we'll proactively make it right with a credit for a full day of service if there is a network interruption. That's the AT&T guarantee.
The all-new 4Runner. Toyota. Let's go places.
Tonight's driven performance brought to you by Duncan. Great offensive balance for the Warriors leg.
Yeah, and this is what was lacking, obviously, the other night. They do look more comfortable tonight. They look like they're getting more freedom and the ball's moving a little bit better.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, now serves up the all-new Big QP for just $10.99. And that's 85% more beef than some quarter-pound burger. Yeah, hey, fast food, this is how you value me. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Let's go see what NASCAR Prime's all about. Let's do this. Starting off big, the Code 600. Green flag. Nashville, Michigan, Mexico City, finally Pocono. 5 Cup Series races. NASCAR, it's on Prime. Come on!
It's time for tonight's access brought to you by Popeyes. We're on the sidelines with Chris Finch. Chris, what did you think of your defensive start?
Well, a little loose on some of our coverages. You know, we got to get out to contest some of these shots, too.
What did you like about the way Julius found his rhythm?
All right, here's the second quarter from San Francisco, California.
Every game so far this series, so we're going to need that.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
There's no question. Katie Randall had an outstanding quarter. It's been a great postseason for him. 10 points to lead all scorers, to go with 3 rebounds and a steal. Had a triple-double, the first of his playoff career, and a Game 3 win. Hield got caught in the air. Looney, who had to put it up.
Yeah, Looney gets that in there.
And scores.
It's great awareness on both players. Buddy Hield going up in the air. He wanted to let that fly. It would have been at least tipped, if not fully blocked. Finds Looney at the last second. The awareness and the soft touch to get one to go.
Randall lost the ball, but a foul. They get Kevon Looney on the reach in, his first on the Warriors here in the quarter. The bench for Golden State outscoring Minnesota's reserves 13-4 so far here in the first half. First free throws of the game for Julius Randle. 2-time All-NBA, 3-time All-Star. Dealt with some injuries this year, had to find his role. And at the time when the trade was made, a lot of people thought, well, Minnesota's going to take a step back. And if you look at the regular season record, they did, but perhaps...
All right, so second free throw for Julius Randle.
Because of the type of player
made the first one.
Towns, who's been great in New York, clearly.
And he makes the second one.
As we saw in the last 2 games.
Well, spacing was different for him when he got here. I think the thing that Chris Finch has really been impressed by was how good he is with the ball and his ability to make decisions for the power.
Kuminga's got it. Kuminga trying to go in. Gonna pass that to Looney. Looney, oh, gonna miss it. And he missed it again. Naz Reid got the rebound. Gonna pass that off to McDaniels. Anthony Edwards on the bench at the moment. And wow, Naz Reid got the 3.
Shooting better than 50% from behind the arc in the playoffs, 21 of 41.
That's ridiculous skill set right there for a 6'11" player to stop that quick.
Podziemski to pass that back to Kuminga. Kuminga to Hield. Hield almost lost it. Comes up with it. And they lose it again. Naz Reid has it. Gonna pass that to Conley. Conley to Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker gets that in for 3.
Score in Game 3 and 20 in Game 2.
Turnovers were a big part of the first half on Saturday. Golden State did a great job in that first quarter with just 1 turnover.
Podziemski, no. Jimmy Butler's not even getting touches right now. It's an 8-0 Minnesota run. Butler still has just 1 shot attempt. 1 point. And a foul on Podziemski. No basket. Second team foul. First personal on Brandon.
Yeah, Steve Kerr said #1 priority in this series for them defensively was to take away the 3-point line, chase guys off it. That's just a really tough shot by Naz Reid, but this one came out of a loose ball turnover, go the other way, and that's when you're susceptible to trail 3.
Randall with a jab step, fires.
And Julius Randle gets the 3.
Randall 3 for 3 from behind the arc. 11-0 Minnesota run.
Buddy Hield looking for 3, and that'll fall. Answers right back.
That's a big shot for Buddy Hield right there to stop some of this momentum. Right now, Golden State's got to take away this 3-point.
Conley gonna pass that to Randall. Randall looking around. He's been covered big time. Gonna pass that off to Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker off to McDaniels once again, and McDaniels shot the 3 and missed.
Field goal, I should say, for Hield. He does have a made free throw. Golden State ball down 5. Now Butler gets a touch on the perimeter. Puts it on the deck. Missed it.
And Butler puts that back in. 3-point game.
First field goal for Butler.
And a turnover. Buddy Hield comes up with it. Gonna pass it off to Kuminga. Kuminga. Wow, surprised he didn't get the offensive foul, but he gets that in there. And now it's a 1-point game, 7-0 run.
Stars from Saturday starting to show some life here as Jimmy Butler gets to the rim. Kuminga as well. Golden State answering that run by Minnesota.
And now a foul as Randall
and Clooney.
Turn the corner. They get Looney for a second personal. Butler needs some help.
Was Julius Randle just playing dead for a second there?
Really smart play, that drive right there by Jimmy Butler. He saw Naj Reid was the big as a helper was up high, so he went baseline and just overwhelmed Nickeil Alexander-Walker, gets his own tip. And then here Kuminga, a little bit of a push off to create some space, but no whistle, stayed with it, kept his balance, and extended to the rim.
He's got 10 points and 9 minutes off the bench for the Warriors, who are back within one. Getting a breather here at the 8:30 mark. Payton back on the floor. Bajemski to the bench. Jackson Davis returning. Anthony Edwards rested for about 3.5 minutes. He's back out there for Minnesota, just 2 of 7 from the floor.
Randall has it. Randall going in, up, and that falls. Back to a 3-point game.
Powerful move, but if you're Trace Jackson Davis, when you close out to Julius Randle at the 3-point line, you have to jump on that left hand. He's just not nearly as good finishing going right to the rim.
Neal 3 off target. Randall rebounds. 5 boards, 17 points.
I'm gonna miss from 3. Randall passes that to Jaden McDaniels. McDaniels back to Randall.
Butler switches out. Finally, Julius Randle with a shot clock at 6. Randle gathers.
Randall for 2, and that falls.
With 1 on the shot clock. He can't miss right now.
Putting on a show offensively. He's hit every shot imaginable here in the first half.
And Draymond turns that over.
McDaniels in the open floor with the step through hang.
And McDaniels drops that.
Draymond Green. Timeout.
Timeout Warriors.
For Minnesota. Back to 7.
Barbecue season is back.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, it's Ellen.
And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
The Phoenician scheme. Subject, Zsa Quarta is the shrewdest businessman alive. Bold. I took a bullet for you. I'm aware. I witnessed the event. Romantic.
Did you love her?
No.
Holy moly.
Legendary. You're fired.
What'd you say?
You're fired.
I'm fired?
Wes Anderson invites you to discover the life. Help yourself to a hell tonight. Of Zsa Quarta. You armed yourself. Good girl. The Phoenician Scheme. Rated PG-13. Select theaters in New York and Los Angeles, May 30th. And theaters everywhere, June 6th. Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. And now, at this unprecedented moment in automotive history, who benefits from Ford's commitment to America for over 120 years? You. Employee pricing. You pay what we pay.
Did you know taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep? So you wake refreshed for a more productive day. Get 24-hour continuous relief that does not fade. Be wise all, take Zysol at night.
What's that gang always do? Keeps when they sweat the technique.
Today at Denny's, buy 1 Slam and get a second one for only $1. Order the original Grand Slam or the All-American Slam and get another for just $1. All this for only $1. It's the best deal in America. For a limited time, only at Denny's.
Are you joking? You're joking. Tell me you're joking.
It's a little early for jokes, but here goes. This muffin goes on vacation. What's happening? You said joking 3 times. That's why I'm here. Anyway, this muffin.
Well, I was just excited about my new car.
New car? Oh, you don't need a joke. You need a Jake. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Your State Farm agent can help you choose the coverage you need. All right, I got a show, so.
You forgot the toothbrush, Jimmy Fallon.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Earn badges to win prizes with the NBA ID Playoffs Challenge. Members in the U.S. and Canada who complete the challenge get the chance at a trip to the NBA Draft. Play now in the NBA app or on NBA.com/ID. Meanwhile, Julius Randle going off here in the first half.
Yeah, Saturday he had a triple-double, and he still put in 24 points, but I was most impressed with his playmaking. Not the case here. He is finding his spots, getting to the three-point shot, and again, if you let him go left hand downhill, he is going to play right through any kind of contact. And then it's your night, it's your night. It's a fadeaway as the clock expires.
3 for 3 this quarter from the field with 7 points, 19 points in all. We were talking a second ago about winning an opportunity to go to the NBA Draft. If you do, you'll be able to watch the Dallas Mavericks take Cooper Flag because they won the NBA lottery earlier tonight.
The general consensus is that's a can't-miss franchise player down the road.
Well, Butler gets that in there.
Jimmy Butler got rid of McDaniels on the drive, so 5 points now for Butler. Minnesota shooting 53% from the floor despite Anthony Edwards, 2 of 7.
Golden State trying a zone here for the first time. Trying to do something different to give Julius Randle a little different look on his driving lanes.
Randle for 3, and he misses that badly. Went out of bounds.
Warriors slowing it down here. A lot of traffic at the top of the circle.
Ooh.
Butler hit healed and saved by Peyton. Timer at 4. Butler
Shot clock at 3. Butler up and in.
Getting the bounce. Jimmy Butler starting to get going now.
That's one of the few times he's had the ball at the top of the key in this series, but did not have a help defender waiting for him at the elbow. So he took advantage of all that space to get into his spin.
Golden State back within 3. Midway point of the second quarter. DiVincenzo lost the ball.
Oh, damn. What is Draymond doing, bro?
Chris Finch got a timeout.
What are you doing, dude? It's just fucking ridiculous.
Well, Jimmy Butler heated up early in game 3. Took a little bit longer in this one, but starting to find his rhythm.
Oh, wow. You know, if you want to check 2 bags for free, you should probably have a United Quest card.
Good call.
Thanks, pal. And if you want to earn Economy Plus upgrades, can I get a seltzer to go with this extra legroom? Hold the bubbles. Water? Yeah. And if you want to earn triple miles on United flights, like the one they took to get here, you should probably have a United Quest card.
Who is he talking to?
You. And you. And you. And you. And you.
Why go commercial when you can have all the comforts of private? The all-new Infiniti QX80.
Taste is not an option. Taste is everything. 1800, the world's most awarded tequila.
Drinks all around. Charlie, get up here.
The rules have changed. Final destination, Bloodlines. Only Peter's Friday. Rated R.
Run up the score all playoffs on Underdog. You can make picks and win money just by picking higher or lower on your favorite players. Get it right, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Sign up, deposit, and get up to $1,000 in bonus credit. Download Underdog today.
A history of winning started with the 65 Gators losing steam, losing sweat.
We've identified the problem. What is the solution?
A drink scientifically designed to hydrate better than water, so they could sweat more, win more, and change the game forever.
Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
He escaped.
Get. We have a blue dog to get. Tickets. Now.
You sure that's a girl?
Yeah.
Rough. Lilo and Stitch. Rated PG. In theaters May 23rd. Get tickets now. The United Football League is heating up.
The push for the playoffs begins now.
The Arlington Renegades. The DC Defenders.
Both teams with something to prove. We're going to have a heavyweight fight tonight.
The United Football League. Sunday at noon on ABC.
Jaden McDaniels says guarding Jimmy Butler is such a difficult task. He has to remind himself to be patient. He said Butler incorporates a lot of pump fakes after his moves. He spins. He also has a big pivot game, so you can't bite. McDaniels said Butler's also super physical, so if you're not patient, he might get you on a fake or get you to reach in while he's crashing into you. So being aware of those tendencies is really important. That Butler guys has gotten the best of McDaniels the last few trips down, Dave.
Yes, he has. He's made 3 straight shots, Katie, after starting over 2. Jaden McDaniels, one of the best defenders. He's about 6'9", 6'10". He's so long. Second team all defense last year.
And his reach, I mean, it's about 7'4". He puts a hand up, slides well laterally. But when he clips, you can't really see the basket.
Butler just get hit in the face?
Separation from McDaniels.
Or sorry, Peyton?
Second foul on Peyton.
No. Oh, he committed the foul.
14th foul on Golden State. No fouls yet on Minnesota. 3-point lead for the Wolves. Golden State's answered every Minnesota run so far in this game.
So the Timberwolves are in the bonus for the remainder of the first half.
Can't do it for long, but for a few possessions at a time can be very effective.
Reed with the shot clock at 3. And a steal by Payton.
And Payton steals that.
Back to Heel. Now Payton in the paint.
And Payton tries to put it in, it misses. Payton gets the second chance points, and it goes.
Gets again, but then tips it in. They're going to say basket interference.
What? Basket interference? Are you fucking kidding me? Is that like the opposite of goaltending?
How quickly he got off the ground. 3 different.
Oh no. Okay.
Before anybody else in Minnesota really moved.
No?
Fortunate for him.
Mine. This says 43. That says 41.
But as you saw there from the
I think this is accurate.
Basket interference, so
yeah, offensive basket interference. There we go.
41. DiVincenzo finally knocks down a 3-pointer.
And Donovan DiVincenzo gets the 3-pointer.
Anybody in this game needed that more than Dante DiVincenzo, the way he has struggled with his shooting.
Draymond for 3. Airballs it. Donovan DiVincenzo comes up with it. McDaniels covered. Anthony Edwards looking, and Anthony Edwards makes that in. Beauty.
Relatively quiet half for Edwards. 8 points. The lead back to 8 for the Wolves. Matches their largest of tonight. Hill for 3. Good.
And Buddy Hield gets the 3.
That's great pin-down action for Golden State. And Buddy Hield came up. Dave McDaniels closing on that shooting, and still gets it to go.
DiVincenzo missed the step through. Green quickly ahead, stolen away by Edwards. 3 on 2.
Anthony Edwards for 3, and he misses it.
Rebound Hield.
Buddy Hield picks up the rebound.
5-point lead for Minnesota, trying to take a 3-1 series lead. Hield gets past McDaniels. McDaniels grabs a hold of him.
That'll be 2 free throws.
Wants them to look at this for a flagrant foul. Second personal on McDaniels. First team foul.
You want? Oh yeah, no, that's insane. That should be a flagrant one. Grabbing the jersey, dude. He's grabbing his neck, grabbing his jersey.
Buddy Hield is down on the floor. Just got helped up a second ago. Looks to be all right. They are going to go to the monitor.
So the officials are going to the monitor because they're going to look at this, see if it's a flagrant 1. I don't think it'll be a flagrant 2, for sure not. But definitely a flagrant 1, in my opinion, at least.
And so maybe a little retaliation foul.
I think you might well see a flagrant 1
as a potential flagrant foul.
I think because of the proximity, to his head, that's up around the shoulder neck area when he swings down. Again, really just trying to prevent Buddy Hield from getting off the ground. It's not a play on the ball. The jersey grab really incidental to the whole thing. It's more about that initial contact when he sweeps down right there, up in that shoulder neck area.
And then the grabbing of the jersey afterwards. put the offensive player in a dangerous position if you pull on that jersey, kind of like a horse collar in football. And it's a shooting foul. If it's ruled a flagrant, then it would be 2 free throws on possession. Let's bring in our rules analyst, Steve Javy. Steve, your thoughts on what you just saw?
Yeah, Dave, this is close because it's unnecessary contact. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, he grabbed his neck and then pulled his jersey. I think that's pretty blatant, flagrant.
I would just call it a normal foul myself, even though it looks weird because he pulls the jersey at the end. But I just go by the.
Hey, he grabbed his neck. That's.
Okay.
I don't think the neck grab was intentional, but then grabbing the jersey afterwards kind of. You don't get no benefit of the doubt.
I think for me, Steve might very well be right. I think this is very close, but I think this
it's
wind up and grab.
Yeah, unnecessary physical contact is what is necessary for.
And that is unnecessary physical contact.
You saw the swipe. Here's Mark Davis.
Upon review, it is determined that none of the elements of a flagrant foul exist.
I guess I don't know ball.
Together, 2 free throws.
So Steve Javy, correct? Just 2 free throws.
What are you talking about?
And obviously the crowd's upset. It's a home crowd. You want to get that call. You need every extra possession you can get if you're Golden State. And they just determined. I think Steve's main point was that there really just wasn't enough overall contact that took place that could have potentially, caused some damage to Buddy Hield. So they went with the common foul.
Warriors are 5 of 8 at the free throw line so far in this game. Hield is 1 of 2.
I mean, I get it.
Hield has 2
It's kind of a judgment call. But Buddy Hield will still get 2 free throws.
So far in this game, and now
It is still a foul.
In the playoffs.
He has really turned it on since about the middle of that Houston series when he was struggling to find space against an elite defense. Rockets face guarded him. He broke loose late in that series. Of course, they're huge game 7.
And Buddy Hield made the first one.
This one also very good.
WNBA tip-off 25. Saturday, Caitlin Clark on display in an ABC doubleheader with several really good games. You got the Fever in the Sky, 12:30 Eastern. WNBA countdown starts us off, and then defending champion New York Liberty.
And Buddy Hield made them both.
49-46 after the free throws from Hield. 4:17 to go in the first half. Largest lead for Minnesota has been 8. Warriors led by 5. No Warriors starter in double figures. 10 for Kuminga to lead Golden State.
And they stay in this zone. It's been successful in the last 2 possessions. Really, Minnesota not getting anything going downhill, which is the whole goal.
Conley with 3 to shoot. Hield strips it away, but a foul.
Foul?
First on Hield. Warriors are over the limit. Free throws for Conley.
And you see Golden State in this zone, and Julius Randle.
So 2 free throws for Mike Conley.
Which is where you want to get. So steps out on the floor. Golden State doing a nice job communicating in this zone. As Mike Conley again, he feels Buddy Hield's hand in there, so he tries to get into the shooting motion.
They're trying to determine is that a 2-pointer or a 3-point attempt, and it's going to be 3 free throws.
3 free throws, wow.
That foul occurred behind the arc. First free throws of the game for Mike Conley. 18th NBA
He made the first one.
7 years old. It's his 102nd career playoff game.
Damn.
Wolves are 6 of 7 at the line as a team so far.
He made the second one.
Well.
Critical 4 minutes for Golden State right here to close this half out and stay in touch with Minnesota, who can go on these scoring bursts.
And he made all 3. 6-point ball game.
6-point games, manageable for Golden State, assuming you keep scoring. But the big 4 minutes here heading into the locker room.
Especially with Jimmy Butler out. Steve Kerr wants him to be fresh in the 4th quarter.
I don't even know who that is.
18 minutes. This is his second stint on the
Buddy
bench.
Hield missed that.
Is inside. Edwards with the rebound and quick run up the court. 6-point lead for the Wolves. Edwards through traffic to the corner. DiVincenzo. Now Conley up top. Still good on the 3. Can you get 4 guys underneath trying to block out Gobert? Here comes Draymond Green.
Draymond, and that'll miss, and then the second chance points will go in. Looney, or Looney, Kevin Looney.
Gobert, like a point guard, finding Conley.
Mike Conley misses that. And Buddy Hield, off on his own, will bring that in.
Defense creating their offense. Right now, Golden State stringing some stops together and then able to get out and get some early offense.
Hield now with 11, the leading scorer so far for the Warriors.
Zone has been effective. The only points they've got with the Conley free throws when he was fouled on the three-pointer.
Shot clock at 2. Randall with 1, gets it away in time, missed it. Looney rebounds. Outlet Kuminga. Warriors can tie or take the lead. Kuminga fouled by Conley. Great attack by Jonathan Kuminga. A chance to tie it up at the foul line.
So Kuminga can foul it up, or tie it up here with the foul. 2 free throws.
There's a confidence and a comfort level that's back with Jonathan Kuminga, which we didn't see earlier.
Look at that dunk from Buddy Hield.
Steve Kerr has to be really happy with
not a full dunk, more like a layup, but brought it in, could have dunked it. And Kuminga makes the first one.
Golden State, as a result, has been able to take it off the glass and get out. Hield with the breakaway, and that's how Kuminga puts his head down and gets to the rim against a retreating smaller defender.
Tim, they're +8 on the glass against a much bigger team in Minnesota. Gobert is going to go to the bench here. Reed checking in. The Warriors making the most of the non-Jimmy Butler minutes the 2 times he's been on the bench. As Kuminga gets both free throws, he's up.
And that'll tie up the game.
Warriors trying to even the series.
Each team has used 2 timeouts. Yeah. Tatum is definitely done for the year. That's really sad. And Podziemski's going to get fouled. Naz Reid commits the foul. The second of the night.
State went back to man to give him a different look out of that timeout, and they get the turnover, and again playing in the open floor. Brandon Podziemski knew he had the angle of Naz Reid closing out.
And he makes that to give them the lead.
Hard for the Warriors, obviously, to win this series if Steph Curry doesn't come back. But are you getting a sense they're starting to figure out how to play a little bit without him?
Their motion is much better tonight than it was on Saturday. You know, it's such a massive adjustment because you're asking players that typically don't have to beat people off the dribble to do exactly that, because Steph Curry is such
and he made them both.
multiple defenders. There's a lot more space for the role player. Hasn't been the case here.
8-0 Warriors running the last 2 minutes.
8 straight points for Golden State. Minnesota without a field goal.
Julius Randle looking around. Julius Randle going to pass that to Edwards. Anthony Edwards up for 2. It's off. Rebounded by Conley. Back to Naz Reid. Naz Reid's going to pass that to Randle. Randle's going to look. Nope, he's going to go in. And he's going to shoot the 3. And it's off.
Rebound Looney. Randle started 3 for 3 from behind the arc. He's missed his last 2. Kuminga. Gets past this man.
And Kuminga is going to get fouled. 2 free throws.
3 fouls on Naz Reid. Jonathan Kuminga has this crowd here at Chase Center on its feet.
And I'll tell you what, it's a good thing.
So both teams are in the bonus for the remainder of the first half.
Kuminga here at the end of this, because I think Jonathan Kuminga had some bad intentions on his mind, and he can really sky when he comes to a 2-footed jump, which he was about to do. Naz Reid gives up the foul to force him to hurt him.
And he made that.
Points now, Kuminga, 5 of 5 in the line. Halftime presented by Hyundai coming up. Blake Andrews, Brian Windhorst. They will give us the update from Joe Mazzulla on the injury to Jason Tatum, and that Celtics lost tonight to go down 3-1 to the New York Knicks. Another incredible double outing for Jalen Brunson. They'll have highlights and much more coming up. The resurgent Jonathan Kuminga.
And Kuminga made both of those, so it's a 4-point game. It's been a surprisingly good game. I was not expecting this game to be... Honestly, I was kind of expecting a lot of the same from Game 2. Anthony Edwards looking around. Anthony Edwards shooting the three, and it falls!
And it's tough when you've got that shell behind you defensively. You don't want to get on an island with Anthony Edwards, so let him get that shot off.
Kuminga. Good defense, Alexander Walker. Looney, foul. Boy, Looney doing a terrific job on the glass. He's got 8 rebounds in 10 minutes off the bench. Foul on Edwards is his first. Both teams over the limit for the final 50 seconds.
Come on, Looney, giving him great minutes and activity. Steve Kerr knew he needed to play a little bit bigger against this team. That's why Trace Jackson Davis was inserted into the rotation. Come on, Looney picking up minutes as well, which he did at the tail end of the Houston series. Also, he's just so reliable. He's always going to be in the right place at the right time. He's going to give you offensive rebounding, and he's a good communicator defensively for that back line.
There were several unsung heroes.
All right, so Kevon Looney has 2 free throws here.
Kevon Looney certainly one of them. Great leader.
He makes the first one.
Given 5 points so far in the game. Jimmy Butler has been on the bench since 4:17. And the Warriors have gone from trailing to leading, which means Butler will be pressured for the second half. Lead is 3 now for Golden State.
All right, so 3-point lead.
Randall has gone cold. He's been stuck on 19 points now for about 7 minutes.
Golden State in the zone, and see how extended it is now to make sure Anthony Edwards does not get off one of those step-back threes.
And Jaden McDaniels misses that.
The shot, and Kuminga's got it now. They don't have numbers. 5-second difference in the game in shot clocks. And so Golden State will slow it down.
All right, so they're just gonna, looks like, try to ride out most of the rest of the half.
Spins past Edwards. Kuminga hangs.
And Kuminga gets fouled. 2 free throws.
Back to the line goes Kuminga, where he's 6 of 6.
Well, without Jimmy Butler, you knew this ball was going to find its way back up top to Kuminga. They went with the guard screen, trying to get that switch. Give him an opportunity to use his size. That's a beautiful spin. It's a pretty good play on the ball by McDaniels, but he does get that hand right there across Kuminga's wrist as he's ready to release it.
2 players have 3 fouls.
And he made the first one.
Miles Reed and Jalen McDaniels. And the Warriors have now taken 10 more free throws than Minnesota. 10 of those attempts have come in the last 5 times down the floor. They missed their first 3, and they made 9 in a row. They were 3 of 6 at one point. So they've made 13 straight. 11 of 11 this quarter.
And we were wondering if Jonathan Kuminga was going to be able to follow up that 30-point performance, you know, do something similar to give Golden State a chance. He's halfway there.
Trying to remember the last time we've seen a player who was benched at the end of the regular season and for the start of the playoffs have this kind of an impact in playoff games just weeks later.
You give a lot of credit because I think one of the reasons he's had a harder time cementing himself in the rotation
2 free throws.
Is because I think there are times, you know, they don't know.
He made the second one. So missed the first one, made the second one. It's a 5-point game. And they do just, looks like they'll dribble at the half. Maybe Anthony Edwards will go for 3. Anthony Edwards. Oh, he made it! Wow, that was almost from the logo. That'll make it a 60-58 game at halftime. I will be back at 11:43 for the second half. I'm going to go outside and smoke.
Definitely left his hand. Still 7/10 of the second left. And it gets Minnesota within 2 at halftime.
Conference semifinals on ESPN are delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle, for real.
You know, sometimes my life could be a little crazy. That's why when you find stability, you gotta grab it and hold on to it. Like how Verizon just lets you lock in a low price for 3 years. Even if you're already a customer. Is that even real? That's not just for me. And they give you a free phone on any plan. Who's doing that? Nobody. Come on, what's better than that? Probably nothing. Yeah, nothing.
You found it then.
Of course I did. Good one.
I'm just a regular guy, but I've got this condition. I can't feel pain.
You're a superhero.
Oh, yeah. These guys took the girl I love. I won't stop till I get her back.
You're okay, you're okay.
Oh my god, I got shot.
Hey, there we go.
I'll see you later. You know, if I don't die.
When you see a car, you can find it on Auto Trader. Even my TV detective car. Just put your info in the Kelly Blue Book My Wallet, browse personalized monthly payments from dealers in your area, then start and finish the deal online. Case closed.
So, what brings you in today? I just want someone to tell me what shirt goes with what pants. Help is here. Stitch Fix. It's online personal styling for your size, style, and budget. This was easy.
Brian, let's take a look at this assist to the game brought to you by State Farm. This bucket from Anthony Edwards, it certainly assisted stopping the Golden State Warriors run here. This is the shot they didn't want to give up.
They were double teaming him 30 feet from the court. You think you get a stop there, Malika?
Anthony Edwards has been a sharp three-point shooter this season and has found that outside shot these last couple of games. But still, even with that bucket, the Golden State Warriors, they ended this second quarter on a 14-6 run to give themselves an edge going into the break.
Very aggressive mindset from the Warriors. Definitely needed this mentality.
Absolutely.
You make me feel so miserable.
Flonase relieves your worst allergy symptoms, so you can start feeling better the same day and save your relationship with nature. Flonase.
In a world of rising prices, Nissan is lowering them on our two most popular SUVs. The always adventure-ready Pathfinder and our best-selling Rogue, a Consumer Guide Best Buy 11 years in a row. From our U.S. factories to your driveway since 1983. Get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% APR for 60 months on Pathfinder.
Hi. Play for an ultra?
Racing for an ultra?
Don't forget, there's ultras on the line.
A ding.
Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Welcome to NBA Halftime, presented by Hyundai.
We got a 2-point game at the break here, thanks to 16 points from Jonathan Kuminga. Julius Randle's been stuck on 19 for a minute here, Brian.
Yeah, no assists in this game. He came in averaging almost 10 a game in this series, but 13 baskets in the paint and 20 free throws for the Warriors. Definitely a drive mindset. And their bench, great. Not just Kuminga, but Kevon Looney, 6 points, 8 rebounds, turning back the clock.
This is the type of aggressive effort the Golden State Warriors need if they want to even up this series. Meanwhile, the story of the basketball world tonight is Jason Tatum. Unfortunately, he goes down here with what appears to be a non-contact injury in Game 4 against the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. He would leave the game. This happened with about 3 minutes remaining. And as he walks off the floor, really he's helped off the floor. He can't put any weight on that right foot.
It's obviously a severe injury. What you're praying for is that it's not a catastrophic injury.
Here's Joe Mazzulla and what he had to say about Tatum, Brian.
I got back there, talked to the medical staff. They told me it's a lower body injury, and they're going to get an MRI tomorrow. So, we'll see where it goes from there. Obviously, you're always worried about someone's health, so the fact that he had to be carried off, like you said, he's the type of guy that when he gets right up, so he didn't, and we'll know tomorrow exactly what it is, but it's tough to watch a guy like him get carried off like that.
So he will get that MRI on Tuesday here, Brian. You have to imagine that the Boston Celtics, just based on the way that injury looked, without knowing exactly what the diagnosis is, they could be facing Game 5 without Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I was talking to our Tim Bontemps, who was in the Celtics locker room after the game. He said it was the quietest locker room he'd ever heard. They obviously know that the rest of this series is in, of course, serious doubt. I will point something out. They are facing, obviously, a difficult situation here. Tatum injured. They're down 3-1. They were 8-2 without Jason Tatum this season. This is an excellent team. They are the defending champions. Picking themselves up after seeing that, though, is going to be a huge challenge, maybe even more tactically, emotionally, trying to bounce back from what they witnessed tonight.
You have to imagine that this is one of those games going back to TD Garden where the Boston Celtics sort of rally around Jason Tatum, whether or not he's on the floor. This could be that type of effort for them as they try to push this series.
They've been the favorite all year. Now everything is flopped on them. Now
it'll take an enormous effort from Jaylen Brown as well if they want to be able to push that series back to Madison Square Garden. In the meantime, the Minnesota Timberwolves are trying to put, what do we like to say, that commanding 3-1 series lead here on the Golden State Warriors. Julius Randle chipping in with 19.
This halftime is presented by Hyundai Customer Assurance, putting people first when affordability matters most.
Putting people first. It's always been our thing. That's why Hyundai is committed to keeping our prices the same, with no increase to MSRP. And not just on a few of our vehicles, all of them. That's the Hyundai way.
We wouldn't settle for Bateman when there's Batman.
Come on, Batemobile, don't die on me now.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
If the peanut butter in a Reese's could talk to the chocolate, what would it say? You complete me. Should we start a podcast? Who does your riches?
Nope, you're not imagining it. The average grocery bill is now at its
highest point in over a decade. There's no sun signs. This and prices.
Prices are up, but not at Metro. We've lowered prices and give you a 5-year price guarantee. One line of unlimited 5G lowered by 20%. Now $40, period. And a free 5G phone. Go in-store, online, or call. Only at Metro.
Tender, juicy, and perfectly seasoned. It's chicken made for dipping. So bye-bye bun, hello McCrispy strips. Now at McDonald's.
Hey, look at that. They got one of DirecTV's new genre packs.
I think you mean genre packs.
Yeah, that's what I said. Now they can pay less and pack just the TV they want.
Pick the TV they want.
Yeah, now you're getting the picture.
I give up.
How do you sleep at night? On a mattress from Mattress Firm. So I sleep.
At the Memorial Day sale, get a Sealy King bed for a queen price and save up to $700. Plus, get a free adjustable base. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night.
Welcome back to NBA Halftime, presented by Hyundai.
Let's Let's take a look at tonight's electric moment brought to you by Hyundai. I mean, this play was so nice. We got to show it to you twice. This is how the Timberwolves closed out the first half.
Nothing like crossing somebody over at half court.
Not just
For the
somebody.
pull-up.
I mean, Draymond Green and Gary Payton, that's no slouch in terms of defense. The Golden State Warriors trying to even up this series.
We're back. Getting ready for the second half from San Francisco, California.
Is presented by Hyundai Customer
60 to 58 game, 2-point game at half.
Matters most.
Very close game. The Warriors have the lead over the Timberwolves, which I did not expect to say at halftime. But for the first half for the Golden State Warriors, Jimmy Butler has 7, Draymond Green has 8, Trace Jackson Davis has 3, Buddy Hield has 11, Brandon Pajimski has 6 points, Gary Payton Jr. has 3, Jonathan Kuminga has 16, Looney has 6, Key has 0, and then Knox, Moody, Post, Santos, and Spencer haven't played, and then Steph Curry is out with an injury. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, Jaden McDaniels has scored 6, Julius Randle has scored 19, Rudy Gobert has scored 0, Anthony Edwards has scored 14, Conley has scored 6, Donovan DiVincenzo has scored 3. Naz Reid has scored 5. Nickeil Alexander-Walker has scored 5. And then Clark, Dillingham, Garza, Ingles, Miller, and Minot all have not played.
All new arcade games, now only at Dave & Buster's.
Can't believe you got pink eye, Ferris.
When you wake up with pink eye, you get your prescription fast with Walmart Express Delivery. I wonder what else Walmart could deliver that fast.
Bow, wow.
Ooh.
Bow, wow.
Chicken?
Bueller.
Life moves pretty fast. If you're not using Walmart Express Delivery for your prescription, you could miss out.
Ever dream of teleportation? Well, it's already here. How about time travel? That exists too. Mom, I'm busy. All thanks to humanity's greatest device. Introducing your nose. All you gotta do is breathe. Not here.
So what's the Tatum injury looking like?
If your long-term disability claim was denied, listen closely. You may be able to recover money. Unum is one of the largest disability insurance carriers, and companies you know like Colonial Life, New York Life, and National Life Group are all part of the Unum family. Unum was fined millions for wrongly denying claims. You may be owed compensation. Let us help you get through the appeal process.
What did Joe Mazzulla say?
800-521-1801. That's 800-521-1801. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
You tried the chips and salsa here? No way. My stomach can't
Mazzulla didn't provide much of an update on Tatum's health following the loss that sticks the Celtics with a 3-1 series deficit. I know it's a lower body injury. He'll get an MRI tomorrow. He's with doctors now.
Even constipation,
that's all his.
Digestive health, and it has time-released melatonin to help you get the best sleep of your life.
Chips and salsa are back on the menu.
Really nothing there on Tatum.
By texting CURL to 231231.
Superman is taking the day off. Who are you picturing for Superman? Who's got it like Superman? Who's got a step? Who can possibly match Superman's speed, strength, and ability to fly? You want to talk about fly? How about Jason Tatum?
We have Tatum in a commercial right now.
Tatum is Clark Kent, humble, Midwestern, looks great in glasses, but can he step up and be Superman?
Welcome back to the NBA playoffs presented by Google. The conference semifinals delivered by Chipotle. Pre-game Anthony Edwards, as he normally does, taking 40-footers. Nobody in the stands, but putting his teammates to sleep, I guess. And then here from about 30 feet at the buzzer, he had 14 points, 8 in the final 5 minutes, 2 threes in the last minute. Both head coaches are mic'd up tonight.
Hey, the whole key is the tempo. You guys are pushing the ball beautifully. That's putting their defense on their heels, right? Just keep pushing it. Keep running to the corner. Come on now, let's go. We're a little sloppy down there. That's a hell of a quarter, right? Keep going, keep pushing it. All right, let's string together 3 stops in a row. We got to get more aggressive. Let's go. Whoever gets it every time out of bounds or loose ball, whatever it is, keep pushing it, keep getting to the corners, all right?
As the Warriors try to even this series in 2 games apiece, we look at our first half stats brought to you by Service Now. +10 on the glass and +8 in second chance points for the Warriors. Kevon Looney had 8 rebounds. Rudy Gobert only had 3. Minnesota stayed in the game because it made 5 more threes than Golden State. They passed Tim Legler and Katie George with you. Well, Steve Kerr wanted Jimmy Butler to get a little more rest tonight. He did. He played 17 minutes, and he also wanted others to step up. And they got that. Butler had 7 points, but had a ton of help in that first half.
Well, the script has gone pretty well for Golden State. They had a 2-point lead at halftime in Game 3, but a much different type of game. That was 42-40. Both offenses are showing up in this one, so the support has been there for Jimmy Butler, getting another great performance out of Jonathan Kuminga, but the role players stepping up as well. And to your point, Dave, Jimmy Butler really wasn't taxed in that first half. I think he ran out of gas in Game 3 trying to close. He should have a lot more as this game winds down tonight, assuming it's still close.
If he plays the entire second half, he would play fewer minutes still than he played on Saturday in Game 3. Jonathan Kuminga with 16 points, Buddy Hield with 11. Julius Randle, 19 points for Minnesota, but didn't score the final 7+ minutes of that second quarter. Edwards with 14. Minnesota trying to take a 3-1 series lead. A chance to close it out on Wednesday night at home in Game 5. The Warriors win guarantees a game here on Sunday at Game 6. And the reason it's not every other day in the series is to honor the Valkyries.
Here's the second half.
Golden State WNBA team. It's home opener, so that pushed Game 6 back with big benefit now. The Warriors could, Steph Curry could return to that Game 6 on Sunday.
You think what's at stake over the next 24 minutes, really for Golden State more so. You go home to Minnesota, go back to Minnesota with a chance to get closed out if you lose this game. Instead, you extend Curry back.
Misses it.
24-second violation to start the half. Pajemski now 2 of 7. 0 for 2 from 3. Golden State by 2.
Draymond's yelling again.
Warriors sticking with that zone. Edwards with a timer at 10.
Mike Conley for 3. Misses. Rebounded by Draymond.
Those are the shots that Steve Kerr wants to force with this defense. 3-pointers from Conley.
The Gypsy passes that to Jackson Davis, and it gets turned over.
Nice pass to Pajemski was fouled. Anthony Edwards commits his second personal foul.
Oh, no, it was fouled on the Timberwolves, so 2 free throws for Pajemski here.
Nice cut.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards committed the foul.
Big pocket under the rim right there. Pajemski recognized that. Going to start the second half here with a couple of threes.
You look at the first half of the
makes the first one.
Of Game 3. Pajemski and Hield combined for 2 points. It's 17 points combined tonight in the first half. Warriors have now made 16 straight free throws. They're 18 of 21, now 19 of 22. They've taken 13 more foul shots than the Wolves.
One name we haven't really mentioned much tonight at all is Rudy Gobert, who had a big factor in Game 3 with his rebounding, his rim protection.
Anthony Edwards looking around.
Not really gotten involved in this
guarded by Pajemski. He's getting far back there. He's trying to go in. Gonna pass that off to Randall. Randall for 3, and he makes it. Makes it a 1-point game.
Draymond Green, very productive first half. Beautiful shot.
And Draymond Green makes it in.
Up to 10 points and 6 rebounds now to go with 2 assists. Green fouled out in crunch time. Part of the reason why the Warriors lost Game 3. The defense just wasn't as good when he went out of the game. Edwards on
Anthony Edwards bringing that back to Conley. Conley up and off.
Kept alive, though.
Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards for three. And it falls. Tie game.
He loves going left for that shot. When you go for that up fake on the first attempt, he's almost always going to go left, get into that rhythm dribble, and he is just lethal.
First points of the second half. He's got 66 points in the second half in this series in 3+ games. Pajemski in the lane, missed the shot. The putback though by Trace Jackson Davis.
And Trace Jackson Davis makes that.
Any type of penetration could create offensive rebounding opportunities because you're going to get movement out of Gobert, and he's going to reoccupy.
So a three from the Warriors here would be Mr. 69.
That time, Trace Jackson Davis was right there behind to get the putback.
They have 7 more offensive rebounds than Minnesota in this game.
Damn, all the way around. Did a 360. Anthony Edwards for three, misses. And Rudy Gobert tried to get the second chance points, failed, but gets fouled.
On the step back try. Gobert hasn't scored. This will be his first trip to the foul line. Jackson Davis commits his second foul.
This is the tough decision when you close out on Anthony Edwards. You know, if you close out on that left side, he might just go straight downhill with his right hand and finish that way. If you close out the other way, he's going to almost always go to that step back.
So 2 free throws for Rudy Gobert.
Chris Finch before the game. Why is it so far in this series?
Rudy makes the first one.
Is more assertive offensively in the second half. He said Edwards told him he's really enjoying kind of feeling out the game early, but that he might be overthinking it a little too much. He was much more assertive tonight in the first half.
No doubt about it. And I thought a couple of easy layups he got in the beginning of the third quarter, middle of the third quarter on Saturday, turned around his half. He got much more aggressive. Haven't seen the ball go through the basket, but
and he made the second one.
Tonight, looking for his own offense.
Gobert ties the game with 2 free throws. Again, Draymond Green running the point, getting it into the forecourt quickly. Pajemski into the lane, trying to draw the foul on Randall. Bounces to Butler.
Butler back to Pajemski. Pajemski to Draymond Green for 3. Airballs it right to fucking McDaniels. McDaniels will hand that off to Edwards. Edwards going in. Edwards up and in.
Absolutely gorgeous shot by Anthony Edwards, and a timeout on the floor.
Timeout Warriors.
Anthony Edwards off to a great start here in third quarter. Look at the footwork, the extension, is a soft finish.
The Warriors could get Mr. 69 with a 3. The Timberwolves' next points would be Mr. 69. So it's a race right now. Really close to him.
Sign up with promo code HOOPS.
Just need that last video from you.
That's an awfully big file you got there. And big files, well, they don't download that fast. Rome wasn't built 2 minutes before class.
Oh, we're good. It's a Mac. You can just use AirDrop. You better get in there.
Whatever. What to do. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
We are live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken fillet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the Mac, one of the all-time greats.
Hard to believe how much goodness you can get in one bite.
Man, I'm getting hungry.
What's funny about that?
Paid for their testimonials.
Hello?
Hi, I'm Gemini.
Okay, can we talk about this photo I just took?
Sure, just add it and we'll talk.
Can you take a look at this giant hole?
That hole is easier to repair than it looks.
Gemini, I need help.
Okay, let's talk about how to get rid of that spider.
Run that back, Gemini.
Attach the braces to the support beams.
Attach what to what? Go back a step.
No problem. Let's go back to step 3.
We're only on step 3?
The history of winning started with the 65 Gators losing steam, losing sweat.
We've identified the problem. What is the solution?
A drink scientifically designed to hydrate better than water, so they could sweat more, win more, and change the game forever.
Bam. Shit, I'm wondering, you wouldn't understand.
Stuff Gatorade.
Let's go hear from more citizens of the law.
Happy grass, happy home.
So what do you do?
Regular feeding, it makes all the difference. Scott's Weed and Feed. The product is incredible.
Now's the time to kill existing weeds with Turf Builder Weed and Feed.
Feed it. Feed it.
In a world of rising prices, Nissan is lowering them on our two most popular SUVs, the Pathfinder and Rogue. From our U.S. factories to your driveway since 1983. Now get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Thursday on ESPN, the conference semifinals continue. How many games we have yet to be determined. We know for sure from Denver, Game 6 between the Thunder and Nuggets. Game 5 tomorrow with that series 2-2. And Cleveland knock off Indiana on its home floor tomorrow to force a Game 6 Thursday at Indiana.
They were Golden State's played quite a bit of zone here, starting with the early second quarter, and this is why you want to funnel the ball in certain places. That time they got on Anthony Edwards' left side to keep it out of the hands of Julius Randle. They'll live with Mike Conley taking contested threes.
To your point, Randle and Edwards are 8 of 14 from 3 and 3 misses. And the rest of the team is just 4 for 13 from three-point range. Anthony Edwards has 5 of Minnesota's last 6 baskets, including a 30-footer at the buzzer to end the first half. Drives on heel, swing to Randle. Jab and fire. Randle's three is good. Rebound Butler. By the way, Butler hasn't scored or even taken a shot since the midway point of the second quarter. But he scores there. 9 points and ties the game.
Yeah, that ties it. So next points are Mr. 69.
To give him some freedom to attack. Rudy Gobert was not willing to come out and challenge that. It's an easy 15-footer for Butler.
Edwards.
Step through, foul.
And Edwards is it.
Anthony Edwards, who led the NBA in threes this year, is equally deadly, maybe even more so on the drive.
Well, this is the part of his game that has improved dramatically. Number one, just the creativity with the handle in tight spaces, but then he's so patient. For a guy this athletic that gets downhill with such acceleration, the way he stops and slows everything down to let you drop back to the ground before he releases the ball, it's really special.
I mean, most guys would not have been able to get that shot off before their feet hit the floor, and it's a
so Anthony Edwards, Mr. 69.
Rather than an and one. As an offensive foul is called here on the screen on the Warriors. It's on Buddy Hield.
I mean, he got his knee into his quad a little bit, but Julius Randle, I think, sold that pretty well. There was
Randle
in the lower body.
misses.
Late set as well. Empty possession though for Minnesota. 3-point Wolves lead. Butler driving.
Butler misses.
Gobert stood his ground, getting fouled for the Wolves.
Julius Randle again off to Conley. Conley for 3 and makes it.
3 pushes the lead to 6.
That's a big turn right there. I think Jimmy Butler took the ball too deep. He had the same shot he just hit. A little pull-up 12-footer, decided to challenge Gobert.
Great defense by Gobert.
Kuminga tried to get it, missed it. Butler has it. Butler gets fouled.
A foul inside is called on
What?
Butler.
Oh no, it's on Butler.
Something personal on Jimmy Butler. So 2 offensive fouls here in the last 30 seconds by the Warriors.
Yeah, the shot he turned down led to a 3 by Mike Conley, but there you see the hook around Anthony Edwards' leg as he's trying to get some space in the paint.
Minnesota now 13 of 26 from 3. They've made 8 more threes than the Warriors. That's the difference in the game. Randle throws it into the bench. Nice defense by Draymond Green.
You see the difference on Julius Randle. If you can wall up that left shoulder so he cannot take the ball down that side of the lane, when he's forced to go to his right to shoot those back lean backs, he's not very comfortable. That time, throws the ball into the first row.
Green Lundqvist will be named NBA All-Defense for the 9th time in his career. His 3rd Defensive Player of the Year honors. Shot clock down to 4. Minnesota on a 10-2 run.
Kuminga for 2. Nope.
Again, excellent defense from Rudy Gobert, the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Daniels. Gobert back to McDaniels to Edwards. Edwards for three. Edwards makes the three.
Rips the net on a triple.
9-point game.
That's his fifth three. You can feel he's sensing right now the moment for Minnesota and what it would mean to get out of here with a win. He's starting to take over this game. Golden State's not staying connected enough on the perimeter.
He's got 11 in the quarter. He's owned the second half in this series.
Butler up and miss. Rebound by McDaniels. Pass to Edwards. Edwards looking around for three once again. And once again makes it. Anthony Edwards. Cold as ice.
For Minnesota trying to go 3-1 in the series.
Man, that boy is hot.
Right now for the Timberwolves, taking over this game from deep, trying to get the second.
Man,
bring this thing back to Minnesota, up 3-1 if they can hold on.
I fucking love that guy.
Finally, they have arrived. A whole new lineup of delicious Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. Because for as long as probably forever, there's only been one Frosty. I mean, what would we even do? Add a bunch of Oreo cookies or Pop-Tarts pieces? That would be kind of genius, actually. Someone write that down. For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
Yo, what's up, man? You still trying to get that new place, right?
Yeah.
Well, check this. Table 5 was popping off. They were talking about all this new technology. There's a t-shirt that can button itself.
My boy has that t-shirt.
For real?
And the pants. Yes, sir.
Pants too. We gotta invest.
My paycheck invests itself. My portfolio is set. You don't believe in yourself. I believe in me. Why do you think I owned it? You gotta rent for that? Crazy. That's faith. I don't know why he's like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. More for us. Hey.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces passing homebound. And I need you.
Three for Me, only at Chili's, is now available with the all-new Big QP, fries, bottomless chips and salsa, and a bottomless drink, all for just $10.99. So if you're McDone with tiny, overpriced burgers, just come to Chili's. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Bateman when you need the protection of Batman.
Easy, Batemobile, not too fast, baby.
Any last words?
Just one. It's a long one. Dermatologist.
That's why you need the real deal.
Go home, Bateman. Do a podcast or something. That's hurtful.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
At AT&T, we confidently guarantee our network.
Oh, no.
What we can't guarantee, you and your teammates being too connected.
What up, Chad?
Double oh no.
I texted you guys I was going to.
I wore that last week.
I got dressed first this morning.
I thought you said you were going to wear
Connection means something. That's why with AT&T, we'll proactively make it right with a credit for a full day of service if there is a network interruption. That's the AT&T guarantee.
You might be thinking you're a survivor. And you might be chasing a dream. Or you might be donning victory green. Whatever it is, that's the only thing that matters. Jets and Stars, Tuesday at 8 on ESPN.
Last month, coaches across the league wore custom autism-themed Nike shoes to celebrate NBA's Autism Acceptance Month. The game-worn shoes were autographed and are being auctioned by Sotheby's from May 13th through May 20th.
I like that.
100% of the proceeds will benefit the To The Max Foundation as
Nice shoes.
affected by autism spectrum disorder. Get your shoes and other NBA player-worn and autographed
I would get the Steve Kerr ones because honestly they remind me of like the Red Sox City Connect jerseys.
The first 23 minutes of the game had 8 points. The last 7.5 minutes, he's got 20. It's a 12-0 Minnesota run. And thanks to Edwards, they've opened up a 12-point lead. He has more threes, 6, than the Warriors have as a team, 5.
And the Warriors' offense is really hurting them as much as anything right now. They just have 8 points through the first 7 minutes of this quarter.
Kuminga missed the 3.
Missed.
And at what point does Jimmy Butler say, I have to take over. I have to be the one to look to score?
Now, you're asking my opinion on it. So they've got to treat this like almost like a game 7.
Edwards.
To try to get this back even extend
5,
the series. You know
4,
hoping that Steph Curry
3.
gets interference at some point.
Edwards for 3 and missed.
That one, shot clock violation. It did not hit the rim.
Shot clock violation will go the other way.
14 points in the quarter for Edwards, 28 points for the game.
Jimmy Butler sometimes doesn't look comfortable pulling the trigger when he goes into penetration mode. He comes to these jump stops and passes out. Right now is not the time for him to be passive at all. They need points on the board. He's the guy most capable of doing it because he can win matchups, even if Minnesota loads up to his side.
Just 8 shot attempts for Butler, and he's only been to the line twice, and that was basically at the beginning of the game. That's a problem. He's not getting to the free throw line. Kuminga in the corner, 16 first half points for him. Hasn't scored yet here in the third. But really nobody has for the Warriors. Shot clock down to 4. Great defense.
Oh, and it's stolen.
Randall and Edwards have come.
Randall, Donovan DiVincenzo for 3. He gets it. Donovan DiVincenzo.
For the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Again, the turnovers leading to offense for Minnesota. Kuminga too loose with that handle. Anthony Edwards pokes it away.
Another offensive foul. Meanwhile, on the Warriors, it's on Peyton. They're falling apart on the offensive end right now.
Yeah, that's really been their biggest enemy. I mean, they're having a hard time guarding the three-point line down here. But if Minnesota's taking the ball out of the net, it's much easier to match up and get your communications down. I think Anthony Edwards' hot hand now permeating the rest of the roster. DiVincenzo feeling one.
Look at the score here this quarter. It's a 15-0 run by Minnesota. The game was tied at the 8-minute mark. Now it's Reed for 3.
Nas Reed missed the 3.
Gobert with the rebound. And gets tangled up by Draymond Green. Foul on Green. That's his second. 3rd team foul.
And Rudy Gobert just immediately, when Draymond Green went into front position, when that shot goes in the air, very difficult with that size advantage Gobert has to get him rooted out of there. Gobert gets an opportunity, an offensive rebound.
Here's Edwards.
Edwards.
To the free throw line.
Man.
30 points for Anthony Edwards. 17 straight for Minnesota. And without Steph Curry, do the Warriors have enough firepower to come back? A foul here on Edwards.
Yeah, they haven't scored in over 4.5 minutes.
Dante DiVincenzo, I think, got away with a double dribble right there. They're able to shovel the ball to Edwards. And you can see right now, Golden State is completely back on their heels on both ends of the floor, but they desperately need something to stop the bleeding.
Don't get it, though. He'll miss the 3. Edwards is outscoring the Warriors 16-8 here in the quarter. But a turnover by Edwards. Interception from Majewski. Kuminga downhill, gets the layup.
Yeah, Kuminga finally scores one for the scores 2.
And then the 17-0 run. 3-minute mark, 15-point lead for the Wolves. Trying to go up 3-1 in the series before they go home for Game 5 Wednesday. Lob to Gobert from
Gobert gets it.
Well, Golden State had gotten away from the zone. They went back to it right there, but you cannot allow that level of dribble penetration against the zone. There's no backside protection.
And Butler
finds his way back to the free throw line. Got the layup, +1.
Yeah, the Golden State no zone. You've got to contain dribble penetration in the zone. This is just far too easy to put Draymond Green in a really tough spot. But Jimmy Butler answers the other way with one of the few early pushes Golden State has had in this half after doing a lot of that in the first half.
So Anthony Edwards gets his 4th foul. If you're Chris Finch, you leave him in, take him out. He wants to stay in, but he's going to take a seat with 2:43 to go in the 3rd.
Yeah, I don't think you can risk that right here, the way he's played. About due for a blow anyway. He's got a hot hand with a 15-point lead. You figure you can close out the quarter well over the last 2:40 and not risk.
Jimmy Butler.
Anthony Edwards potentially missing for half of a quarter because of foul trouble.
He missed half of the
Made
second quarter.
Second one.
2 due to an ankle injury, but was not on the injury report for Game 3. Obviously played great at 36 and not on the injury report here today for Game 4, so that ankle's okay. Alexander Walker drives, just swinging around to DiVincenzo, fires underneath.
Yeah, he gets
basket
it.
is Alexander Walker.
Alexander Walker.
For Minnesota, the way they're moving the basketball, it's just free. Every right read is being made.
And again, his name is not Alexander Walker. That's his last name. His first name is Nikhil.
Short of the three. Warriors just 5 for 19 from three-point range. Timeout, Minnesota. The Wolves.
Timeout, Timberwolves.
Up 16, late in the third.
9 to 5 in the rear view, and now happy hour has arrived. Let's lead this man to his $6 Popeyes Big Box. That's worth crunch balance.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Introducing Michelob Ultra Zero. Zero alcohol, ultra smooth taste. Just 29 calories. Stay in the game with Michelob Ultra Zero.
Split cup yogurt. Tip it, swirl it, love it.
The 3 for me, only at Chili's, keeps getting even better with the all-new Big QP, and all this for just $10.99. With 85% more beef, it makes a quarter-pound burger look tiny and, well, yeah, tiny. This Chili's 3 for me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
All right, hang tough, fellas. Hang tough. Hey, they're hitting everything right now. They're not going to do this the entire game, but we got to handle our business. We got to make them miss. We got to rebound everything. All right?
Well, the best defense tonight against Anthony Edwards is to have him on the bench, and that's where he is right now because of foul trouble. And Steve Kerr's offense find something. They've been outscored 31-13 here in the third quarter. Jimmy Butler has just not looked himself here tonight. Not as aggressive as we saw the other night. Game 3, 12 points. Team down 16.
Randall.
With the stuff. DiVincenzo with the 5.
I mean, this is just a clinic right now. Minnesota's putting on with their half-court offense.
18 points, but this thing ain't permanent.
Got that one to fall.
And you got that.
Jonathan Kuminga, the leading scorer for the Warriors tonight with 20. Alexander
Walker up and falls.
He's had a nice game off the bench. 4 for 4.
There's no resistance right now for Golden State. Minnesota just too easy off the ball, go wherever they want with it. It's not just the three-point shooting. They're getting anything they want.
Oh, and that's overturned.
Here they are turning up the defense to get some transition.
McDaniels finishes it.
McDaniels gets that 20-point game.
Timberwolves have pushed the lead to 20 with a minute to go in the third. Called on DiVincenzo about 45 feet away from the basket. 14 fouls. With a side out of bounds. It's the first in the last 2 minutes. Second personal on DiVincenzo.
You think about all the energy Golden State expended on Saturday to stay in that game, a one-possession game with 4 minutes to go. Didn't walk out of here with a win. And I think it's taken a toll on them.
And that falls.
And this one can't keep coming back from 8 to 10-point deficits.
Kevin Looney.
Eventually, Minnesota's going to push it out, which they have here to close the quarter.
Minnesota 53% shooting.
10 out of the last 12. Another three-pointer.
Julius Randle. That's just
no, it doesn't count.
There you go, Pat.
Golden State can get a 2-for-1 opportunity here if they can get it down to 15 going into the fourth quarter. We'll see.
So, yeah, the Warriors are in the bonus for the remainder of the quarter.
Randle blocks it. Great defensive play. Out of bounds. Off the Warriors.
Well, I like what Kuminga did there. You had to go 2-for-1. You need as many possessions as you can have. He's just trying to be aggressive, get to the rim, and Julius Randle stayed with that until the very last second to get his hand on that basketball.
About an 8-second difference between the game and shot clocks here at the end of the third quarter. Randle on the spot, and Randle banks it home. He's got 26. He and Edwards have combined for 56 of the 97 points for the Wolves. Buddy Hield driving and throws it away with 8.7 seconds remaining in the quarter.
On the other way.
That's just a situation with Buddy Hield that turns the corner. You've got to get that up on the glass. You have an advantage. You have a half step on the defender. You don't have Rudy Gobert on the floor coming from the weak side. He's trying to make a play for a three, but sometimes take the easy one that's there. I think Buddy Hield could have got that all the way to the rim for a layup.
Minnesota matching its largest lead of the game. At 20 points, Draymond Green will check in for defense. 8.7 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Wolves trying to go up 3-1 in the series. Warriors had a foul to give, so they take it there. Third on Green, 6.2 seconds left. The Wolves trailed by 2 at halftime. They've scored 39 points here in the third quarter to 17 for Golden State. 4 seconds left. Alexander Walker with
Walker to Randall. Randall and misses it. That's going to end the third quarter here from San Francisco, California. The Minnesota Timberwolves are up 97-77 against the Golden State Warriors.
This series against the Warriors.
We head to the fourth quarter.
Did you know taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep? So you wake refreshed for a more productive day. Get 24-hour continuous relief that does not fade. Be wise all, take Zysol at night.
Then.
Of course I did.
To be a pet parent is to be human. Sometimes we feel guilty. We can only do so much. That's why more and more pet people rely on Hills, with scientifically proven formulas to give more love than humanly possible. Because you're only human, there's Hills. Science does more.
You're worrying about your home. And then, thanks to ADT, there's a lot less to worry about. Feel secure enough to let others in with Trusted Neighbor from ADT.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And that is a sandwich.
I'm competing with a condiment.
Tonight's Good Hands play brought to you by Allstate.
Anthony Edwards understanding the significance of trying to get this road win. Aggressive from the start. He's got Minnesota on the brink.
The Infiniti QX60. Comfort redefined, luxury rediscovered. Sit back and immerse yourself in the Infiniti QX60. Discover true luxury at InfinityUSA.com.
It's for you. Do you like it? Come on, Charlie. Use your new door. Come on, let's go. I said go. Let's go. Silly dog. I'm gonna trade you for a cat.
Red Bull gives you wings.
With the taste of white peach. The new Red Bull Summer Edition. With and without sugar.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Batman when you need Batman.
Stop. Whoa, cat lady. Time out.
Nice fanny bag.
Thank you.
Rude. Don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
Welcome back to the NBA playoffs presented by Google. Conference semifinals delivered by Chipotle. Minnesota dominates the third quarter, outscoring Golden State 39-17. On 65% shooting, they made 6 threes.
All right, here's the fourth quarter from San Francisco, California.
16 points. He has 30 for the game. As we start the fourth quarter, Minnesota looking to go up 3-1 in the series. They have a 20-point lead and a foul on the Warriors 10 seconds in.
And you'll see Minnesota now really extend defensively to take away any three-point shooting, because that's the best way to erase a deficit. And it's just important to take care of the basketball right now with the 20-point lead here in the quarter of play.
And Jimmy Butler starting the fourth quarter on the bench. DiVincenzo with 5 on the shot clock. Offensive foul.
The foul is going the other way.
Here's Katie George.
Yeah, Dave, Steph Curry just told his teammates during the last break, we need to have the same energy and body language as we do when we're winning. Let's go on a run here. We can do this.
They were 0 for 6 from 3 in that third quarter, so obviously they got to start getting something to fall from deep. They go inside here, and come in and misses the layup. Golden State just 5 for 19 for the game from behind the arc. Minnesota's made 11 more threes than the Warriors. Ball out of bounds off Reed. Good D by Draymond Green. Buddy Hield spinning on DiVincenzo and getting away.
And again, it doesn't have to be
Another
all
one.
threes right now for Golden
18-point game.
Don't go bare on the floor. There are opportunities. If you keep your dribble, you can get all the way to the rim.
Speaking of getting all the way to the rim, and we've seen that a bunch here, the Warriors' defense
20-point game again.
Been as good as it needed to be.
They have not stopped the ball at the point of attack up the floor. Got to contain penetration.
Got to start going now,
Force
pretty
that ball
much.
to be kicked out.
Kuminga, another missed layup, but a foul. 4-3-2. He is 8
So
of 8
Kuminga will shoot 2
at the
here.
line. Anthony Edwards checking back into the game.
Yeah, it's coming back in.
Quarter points. Again, feeling things out early on. Again, here in game 4, finding more of a rhythm though tonight in the first half. And a great momentum builder by hitting that 30-footer to beat the first half buzzer. They were down 5 before that shot. They haven't looked back since.
He's just one of those scorers that you never really have fully under control or contained, because he's just so explosive. The combination of his ability to attack the rim, draw fouls, but then that lethal three-point shooting, it's really he's added this year over 10 three-point attempts per game in the regular season.
That missed free throw.
Miss. Free throw or 3-pointer from Pajemski misses. Rebounded by McDaniels. Passes to Gobert.
0 for 4 tonight. 4 for his last 24.
I'm sorry, that was Conley.
7 on the Warriors this half. They didn't make a half in the first half of game 3.
Edwards.
First time in a playoff game since 07.
Conley once again. Nope.
Conley. Excellent look by Anthony Edwards. Pajemski fouled by Edwards, and that is 5 on Anthony Edwards. That might be the only chance the Warriors have right now is to get him on the bench. You would imagine that's where he's headed with 10-12 to go.
Yeah, not exactly sure what he's complaining about. Pajemski wisely caught that ball and took it directly into the lane, and he timed it up so that Anthony Edwards had nowhere to go but right through his back.
So
2 free throws
at the line.
for Pajemski. He makes the first one.
Take a look at the upcoming playoff schedule. TNT Tuesday, Cleveland hosting Indiana. The Pacers looking to close out the #1 seed Cavs on the road. The Denver at Oklahoma City, 9:30. That series tied at 2. Go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Nice bounce back win for Oklahoma City. Pajemski misses a free throw. 18-point lead for Minnesota. A foul. Backcourt. Kuminga. First on him. Second team foul.
And you look at Pajemski and his struggles. And he does so many things to help you win. He's a winning player. He rebounds, he defends, he's smart, he takes charges. But they needed his shooting in these 2 games. And he's a combined 3 for 20 in games 3 and 4.
Minnesota kicking him around the park a little bit, but so are the Warriors. A turnover by Hield. Alexander Walker
passes to Naz Reid.
Reed's pass intercepted by Hield.
Buddy Hield goes up and in. Oh, nope. And Pajimski gets the second point. The second chance points.
He did not like the vibe right now.
So, Timberwolves timeout.
City Fighters on ESPN are delivered by Chipotle. Really real flavor. Chipotle, for real.
Weight loss. For so long.
I felt stuck. But Zepbound means change. Zepbound is for adults with obesity to help lose weight and keep it off.
It's changing what I believe is possible when it comes to weight loss.
It's changing how much weight I lose, up to 48 pounds. And some lost over 58 pounds.
Don't take if allergic to it, or if you or someone in your family had medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Stop Zepbound and call your doctor if you have severe stomach pain or a serious allergic reaction. Severe side effects may include inflamed pancreas or gallbladder problems. Tell your doctor if you experience vision changes, depression, or suicidal thoughts before scheduled procedures with anesthesia. If you're nursing, pregnant, plan to be, or taking birth control pills. Taking Zepbound with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can cause dehydration and worsen kidney problems. Zepbound needs change.
Ask your doctor about Zepbound.
I'm the voice inside your head. And while you're typically athletic, right now, you're pathetic. Rick, and once you start listening to me, it's gonna be hard to stop. Shank. And if you don't have the right auto coverage, the cost of this could hit you out of nowhere. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem, like me.
Choose Advil Liquid Gels for faster, stronger, and longer-lasting relief than Tylenol Rapid Release Gels. Because Advil targets pain at the source of inflammation. So for faster pain relief, Advil, the pain away.
Got 9:33 left in the fourth
Taste
quarter.
is not an option. Taste is everything. 1800, the world's most awarded tequila.
This is the NBA
Probably the
playoffs.
game.
An exhilarating ride, played at the highest level, where every possession is big, and every game is even bigger, where every player gives all they've got, and just a little bit more. It's the ultimate race to see which team will hold the NBA's ultimate prize. Pacers, Cavaliers, Nuggets, Thunder, tomorrow on TNT.
We're back. Conference semifinals delivered by Chipotle. The first 34 years of Minnesota's existence, they won 2 playoff series. Anthony Edwards has changed the direction by taking down some of the game's best players in postseason series. Last year, you had Jokic, Kevin Durant. In the first round, they beat the Lakers in 5, and now trying to take down the Warriors. Obviously, Steph Curry has not played for most of the series. Minnesota trying to go 3-1 and make the conference finals for the second straight year, something that's never happened to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Checking with Katie.
Yeah, Dave. Well, Finch says Anthony Edwards' consistency throughout the playoffs this season has been his biggest area of growth this year. Finch says Ant's an excitable guy, so in years past, there were a lot of ups and downs, kind of living and dying with everything that happened in a playoff series. He said now you can sense a calmer, more even approach because
And a
he
turnover.
knows what to expect.
McDaniels
Ant still has to bring us the energy.
is going to throw that away, and going to be picked up by, who is that? Someone on the Warriors.
Such an impact on him.
Kaminga.
And this whole team. So, again, the trade they
So
did,
Kaminga went up and in.
hadn't been in 20 years.
Didn't get it off, but it was it'll be 2 free throws.
Both the Knicks and the Wolves, but Edwards is still the centerpiece of this franchise. And will
Mustard on the beat, ho, deep boat. Any rap, he a free throw, man down, car, amber lamps, telling breathe, bro. Catch it, slip it, meat, bro. Oh, it's bro, yeah, trying to see.
He's got a size advantage, but Anthony Edwards represents that offensive talent in this league that has an answer for anything in front of him. and his leadership has grown. And Chris Finch just raves about the number of ways in which he's added to his game, but also his personality type. He's a fighter, and he wants to win.
Golden State not out of it, though. Free throws by Kuminga get it to 16. 9-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Gobert underneath, fouled by Draymond Green. Gobert will go to the line. 4 points, 5 rebounds.
So 2 free throws from Rudy Gobert.
Green. Check that 4th foul on Draymond Green.
Yeah, 4th.
Golden State trying to go with a little bit of full court pressure there. They're trying to pick the tempo up in the pace to create more possession.
Draymond has behaved himself mostly tonight. He had that one moment with that one guy when he brought him to the ground. I don't really think that was intentional, though.
He was 46% going into game 3. He went 5 for 6, and he's 3 for 3 tonight.
If Minnesota were to hang on, possibly close it out, we'll know on Wednesday if Steph Curry is able to play. He's going to be reevaluated that day. But if Minnesota can close it out, there's a chance that Denver-Oklahoma City series goes 7, and then Minnesota gets a chance to get a little rest. First things first, they got to close this out. Gobert gets it done at the free throw line. By the way, the Warriors have not had a made three-pointer since the 4:49 mark of the second quarter.
Draymond Green makes the 2.
Draymond Green. 12 points for Green.
16-point game. And Rudy Gobert makes that.
Getting the ball into the gut of the lane immediately up the floor with some of the gambles that Golden State is taking right now on the perimeter.
A lot of easy baskets
Kuminga
for Minnesota in the
to
second.
Green.
Not so much in the first.
Green to Hield, back to Green. Green for 3. Misses.
McDaniels with the rebound. Minnesota on offense shooting almost 70% from the floor this half. Kuminga going for the steal. Couldn't get it away from Randall. Randall triple-double in game 3, 26 points here in game 4. Gobert hits the deck. Shot clock down to 3. Randall
Julius Randle throws it to Donovan DiVincenzo for 3, misses.
That's a 24-second shot clock violation.
Well, Minnesota not in a hurry on that possession. They were running that clock down, end up though with the force at the end. Golden State would have stopped.
The time is now for the Warriors with 7.5 to go. Kind of feels like the last opportunity for a big run here. Entry pass to Butler, catching deep in traffic. Didn't even look at the rim, just kicked it out. Shot clock at 5. Pajemski spins.
Pajemski misses.
And defensive rebound Conley.
And you can see that Jimmy Butler really just not aggressive, looking for his shot in the lane. How difficult a position it puts in some of these role players trying to make plays off the dribble against an elite defense.
And Mike Conley misses. Going to be rebounded by McDaniels. McDaniels is going to miss that. Rebounded by Draymond Green. Pass to Pajemski, and he misses it. But it'll get 2. Oh, wait, no, it's a goaltending.
10 points, 11 rebounds for McDaniels.
It's like a clean block. I thought he got that before it got to the glass. Yeah, he took that into the glass. That's a clean block.
Chris Finch challenged it. See if it's overturned when we come back.
So Chris Finch is challenging this.
I haven't swung a club in
Timberwolves timeout.
These guys hit a big.
I don't know if they'll get their timeout back. I don't know how that shit works. I know like sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, or some shit. It's weird.
We'll put a little extra into this one. I am so sorry.
As soon as I get rated.
A history of winning started with the 65 Gators losing steam, losing sweat.
We've identified the problem. What is the solution?
A drink scientifically designed to hydrate better than water, so they could sweat more, win more, and change the game forever.
Boom, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam.
Type of shit on you wouldn't
Naturally, we
understand.
called our stuff Gatorade.
Have a good one.
Any idea who keeps doing that?
Nope.
Oh. Oil base with the all-weather enamel. Excellent choice. Might be cash or card.
That's a lot of black paint.
It's a pull, not a push. Take your time.
In a world of rising prices, Nissan is lowering them on our two most popular SUVs. The always adventure-ready Pathfinder and our best-selling Rogue, a Consumer Guide Best Buy 11 years in a row. From our U.S. factories to your driveway since 1983. Get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% APR for 60 months on Pathfinder.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Bateman when you need the protection of Batman.
Easy, Batemobile, not too fast, baby.
Never play with poison ivy.
Someone's a flirt.
Bateman, please.
So don't settle for just any insurance, man. State Farm.
Oh, I get it now. Poison ivy.
Yeah, the NBA playoffs are here, and it's about to be ridiculous. This isn't about who's next. This is about who's now. The NBA playoffs continue on ESPN and ABC.
Successful challenge by Chris Finch, so he'll be able to keep his challenge for later. Clean block by McDaniels before it hit the backboard. And so it is 105-87 and 47-27 this half.
Pretty nice luxury to have your small forward make a defensive play like that, but this is what we were talking about. The Warriors defensively here, once their offense really just collapsed, their defense followed suit. This is just one possession after another where Minnesota is just putting their head down, turning the corner, getting into the lane, and getting really anything they want at the rim.
The experience of making it to the conference finals has paid off in so many ways here this postseason, especially with the way the Wolves play on the road. If they win this game, 10-3 on the road the last two postseasons, would be 4-1 this postseason. If they close this out, 6.5 to go, leading by 20.
And their stars leading the way. Julius Randle again with a floater. 58 now between Edwards and Randle.
Donovan DiVincenzo gives it to Randle. Randle throws it out of bounds. Oh, no, he gets fouled.
Moses Moody. First minutes for Moody here tonight. He doesn't have a made field goal in this series. A chance for Anthony Edwards maybe to get some rest, too. If this lead stays like this, Chris Finch may not put him back in the game. I think he could probably play 48 and be just fine. He's that good of an athlete. Randle at the line shooting 2.
So Julius Randle, 2 free throws. The Timberwolves are in the bonus for what will be the remainder of the game. Pretty confident the Timberwolves have locked this up. Obviously not over.
Cleveland force in Game 6. Right now it's 3-1 Indiana. If there is a Game 6, it would be.
I didn't think it'd still happen. Enough time, you know.
Julius Randle was laughing after that miss because that's his first missed free throw of the season.
It's a 21-point game.
He was able to convert the second one. And after getting 60,
fucking great.
In Game 3, they're back to 59 tonight.
They just had their biggest lead of the game, but Draymond Green inside gets the basket. Jimmy Butler still stuck on 9 shot attempts, 12 points. He just doesn't look himself here. Certainly not the aggressive Butler we saw in Game 3 on Saturday. And they needed another 30-point game from Butler with no Curry.
Well, you got the formula we laid out. Kuminga did it again. He's got 23 points. He certainly held his own tonight. We thought Green and Podziemski would contribute. They got 25 points between them, but it's really been Jimmy Butler's drop-off that's hurt him the most.
Got an out-of-bounds call that Steve Kerr is going to challenge, but his team is down 108-89.
This isn't just for me. This is for everyone who ever doubted me. And the millions of SoFi members who defy financial doubts every day. Because when you earn more money, save more money, and have a game plan for your finances, there's no stopping your generational ambitions. Celebrate financial independence with the official bank of the NBA. SoFi, get your money right.
In a world of rising prices, Nissan is lowering them on our two most popular SUVs. The always adventure-ready Pathfinder and our best-selling Rogue, a Consumer Guide Best Buy 11 years in a row. From our U.S. factories to your driveway since 1983. Get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% APR for 60 months on Pathfinder.
Rolling on the floor is out of bounds off of Golden State. Butler swipes it away. It does hit DiVincenzo there. Butler steps out of bounds. It didn't appear to touch Jimmy Butler at that point.
This angle, a little better view. Can't tell, you just can't tell if it went off Jimmy Butler's hip or if it touched DiVincenzo's fingertip after that anyway.
They hit the leg and then the hand of DiVincenzo. By the way, Jimmy Butler, you go back to being scoreless in the final 8 minutes of Game 3. The last 41 minutes played, Jimmy Butler has just 12 points. 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He's only taken one
Play cylinder
shot
view
in this game. And just not a lot of margin for error because no Curry. Only 3 free throw attempts for Butler, and again, 2 of those came in the first minute of the game. And when they traded for Butler, that was one of the things.
By DiVincenzo, as his left hand touched the ball prior to going out of bounds. Therefore, this is a successful challenge.
Successful challenge.
Golden State. Please reset the shot clock to 24.
So just to finish up that thought, one of the reasons they got Butler is because they needed somebody to take the pressure off of Steph Curry by getting to the foul line, and that just has not happened tonight.
Their offense is just predicated on Steph Curry's movement and the threat that he represents all over the floor, and the way that he forces miscommunications. It leads to opportunities, and you think about what
Nick Finn smashes some glasses.
They had no made threes in the first half of Game 3. They've got no made threes in the second half tonight of Game 4.
Klay Thompson, part of a signing trade with the Mavericks, so obviously no longer a member of the Warriors, and with an injured Steph Curry, just not a lot of weapons on the perimeter. And the guys that they count on to make threes, guys like Moses Moody, Pajemski, Buddy Hield, other than Hield, they have not gotten that. Hield is 2 of 6. Draymond Green has 2 threes. So Draymond Green has 2 threes, and the rest of the team has a combined 3. Pajemski gets knocked down. So a foul inside on McDaniels. That's 5 on him. So you got Edwards and McDaniels with 5 apiece. DiVincenzo has 4. Free throws for Butler.
Chris Finch not really happy with that, shaking his head because they just committed 2 fouls, not forcing Golden State really to do anything offensively, and you put Jimmy Butler at the line for a couple of free throws. The clock stopped. That's a formula to start, a team to try to cut into this lead.
The Warriors haven't lost 3 straight games since mid-December. They've only lost 3 straight games in the playoffs, 1 time since Steve Kerr took over as head coach, and that was in the NBA Finals when they lost to the Cavaliers in 2016. In danger of a 3rd straight loss here. No basket, foul inside on the Warriors. And if the Wolves win and go up 3-1, only 13 times in NBA history has a team come back from a 3-1 deficit to win a series. Golden State has done it, though, in the conference finals in 2016 against the Thunder, which led eventually to Kevin Durant's arrival here in San Francisco.
And you think about the start to the series that Steph Curry had before he grabbed that hamstring. He had 13 points already in that game in a quarter and a half. And the defense, though obviously imposing, it's a different type of defense than what he faced in Houston and what they were able to pull off against him, when it was just tough to get any daylight whatsoever. So I know he was relieved to find some space, have a great start, and then unfortunately grab that hamstring.
He'll get on the plane, though, with the team. They'll reevaluate him on game day, and we'll see if he plays Wednesday in Game 5. If not, they need
Bajewski misses it.
6 back here Sunday. Empty possession, though, for the Warriors. The Wolves defense has really stepped up here in the second half. 19-point lead for Minnesota, 5-minute mark. Conley, lob for Randall, catches underneath the basket. And a foul call as Conley was trying to pass it outside. It's on Booty. We're over the limit, so free throws for Minnesota. 2 on Booty. So a chance perhaps if Minnesota hangs on to close it out on Wednesday at home, and then because the Valkyries WNBA home opener, Game 6 was pushed back to the 18th. The Warriors will, at this point, likely have to win a road game to get back here, possibly get Curry back. And here comes Anthony Edwards. He's on the bench for a handful of minutes after picking up that 5th foul. Got 30 points, 11 of 20, 6 of 11.
Got good contributions tonight as well from other guys. I think Conley's been a stabilizer for them. And McDaniels has chipped in with 10 points and 13 boards.
What's really interesting about Minnesota is Anthony Edwards is clearly the star. Julius Randle's been an all-star. The other guys know their role. Mike Conley knows his role. Jaden McDaniels.
Mama told me
rebound, make
when I was young.
Obviously, Gobert knows his role.
Sit beside me.
Very well-coached team.
My only son.
3-1 lead over the Warriors.
Listen closely to what I say. And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day.
Oh, these KDs are fire. KD, you work here?
Whatever, kid.
Take notes. Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
Visa's AI fraud protection checks more than 500 data points on transactions. So you can be the risk-taking, recipe-inventing chef you want to be, without worrying about the risk of fraud.
Your kid's brain and the math twins. Some
take your time.
Drowsy, but Allegra is
don't live too fast.
Well done.
Allegra is fast.
Troubles will come,
and brain interference. It's a no-brainer.
And they will pass. You'll find a woman. You'll find love. And don't forget, there's someone up above. And be a simple kind of man. Oh, do it. Baby, be a simple kind of man.
The rest of this game off, assuming the comeback attempt won't happen. Try to hopefully be at full strength on Wednesday, but that depends, of course, on the health of Steph. Conley's 3, no good. Rebound Moody.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, everybody's different with these injuries, but having some experience with it, that would really be hard-pressed to imagine Steph Curry back for Game 5. I think all along they were hoping to somehow get this to a Game 6 at minimum where he could reemerge.
A 3. The game is over. It'll be the Timberwolves who win
throughout this
game.
Season and postseason. First 3 and a half of the
And it'll be a Timberwolves 3-1 series lead. Looks like they're going to move on to the Final Four. I know it's not what it's called in the NBA, but honestly, it should be. Well, maybe not. I think the Final Four is stupid.
You think maybe he could have found an opportunity
It's like, it's not the final. It's not.
No baskets in
Like,
this
the
series.
final is the final two. In NASCAR, it makes sense because the final four is actually the final.
Chris Finch keeping
Which is
his starters
stupid.
in the game
I hate
against
it.
Golden State
But, like,
as
at least
empty
saying that would make sense. The final four in basketball,
Edwards looking to take
it's
the
not the
dribble,
final. Like,
and he pops it up. Numbers for the Warriors if they hurry. Knocks in transition with the slam. Down to 14 with 2:48 to go.
it is a 14-point game. It's over, though. Doesn't matter. This Timberwolves team is too good.
I don't think he's nervous yet, but he certainly would like to see a basket of
It's not. I'm not nervous at all.
Spencer, that's going to put Edwards at
I'd put $1 million on the Timberwolves winning this game if I had that. I'll put all my money on it right now.
Put Randall at the line, actually. He was away.
Could put $500 on it.
Randall, 29 points, 3 of 4.
How much would that win me?
You got Santos for the foul.
I don't even know if I could.
Julius Randall got hurt end of January last
Yeah, I
year.
literally can't.
In the playoffs, some weren't certain how he would fit in with this Minnesota team, but he's found his niche, and he's had a great series for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, everything he's done, he's been sure of. He just looks so confident in rhythm. He's reading the floor well. He's winning any matchup when he gets a smaller defender on him. There's just been no answer for Julius Randle throughout the postseason, but particularly in this series, even more so. And now you got both stars giving you 30
Julius
point
Randle
nights.
makes that one. 16-point game.
114-98, Minnesota, 2.5 minutes away from a 3-1 series lead. And Knox throws it away.
That's out of bounds.
On the same page with Santos.
Going back to Minnesota. Yep, that'll be it.
So Pajemski was 3 of 14. Buddy Hield was 4 of 11 tonight.
Anthony Edwards has it.
Field goal attempts in 34
Anthony
minutes.
Edwards looking for a definitive closeout right here.
Attempts. The Warriors 6 of 23 from 3, while Minnesota made
Anthony up, and that misses. And that'll be rebounded by Golden State. Nope. It'll stay with Minnesota.
Shot he needs to add to his repertoire is that running jump hook that he just tried. That's about the only thing that Anthony Edwards has not had in his golf bag in this series. That's going to need a little bit of polish, I think, this summer.
And I guess it's smart to look at the official right away and call for a foul, but didn't look like a lot of contact.
Every shot I took in my career that didn't hit the rim, I immediately...
1.4 left on the shot clock
As if I had sweat on my hand.
for Minnesota.
Just automatic.
Anthony Edwards going to come out.
Both teams in the bonus.
Is over with 2 minutes to go. 30-point game for Anthony Edwards. It was that three at the end of halftime that sparked the Wolves. For whatever reason, that momentum carried over to the third quarter. It's 17-0 run.
Out of bounds.
Midway through the third to blow this open.
Golden State really couldn't have played
Golden
better
State
in the
gets
first
it.
half. They did everything they needed to offensively, but it's
Three.
just so difficult. Any
Makes.
team in this league, as Moody steps into a three,
13-point
get it
game.
back to 13. Any team in this league, when you're missing a star player, it's so difficult, but particularly Golden State, and how much their offense is predicated around that man right there.
13-point game after the three by Moody. Finally makes a shot. Was 0 for his last 16 before that make. On Golden State, Alexander Walker will go to the line.
Alexander Walker will shoot 2 free throws. Nickeil Alexander Walker.
Have been 3 opportunities to advance. How
And Pat
dangerous
Spencer.
is this team looking at the big picture here in the 2025 postseason? Steve Kerr going to challenge that. He does not think there was a
And
foul.
Mike Conley's going to challenge.
So
Or,
we'll
we know
answer that
Steve
question
Kerr's
on
going
the
to
side.
challenge.
114-101
Sorry.
Minnesota.
With Snapdragon, there's no limit to what you can do and what you can discover on the fastest PCs with multi-day battery life. Unlock your potential with Snapdragon at the heart of your PC.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. And now, at this unprecedented moment in automotive history, who benefits from Ford's commitment to America for over 120 years? You. Employee pricing. You pay what we pay.
So a call on the floor was a foul on the Warriors. Steve Kerr challenging that with his team down 13, 146 left. Because they're over the limit, so it's going to be free throws. Well, it looked like there was contact by Spencer near the region.
To determine that there was no illegal contact by Spencer.
Okay, looked like he hit the elbow, but
therefore,
they say
this
no
is
illegal
a successful
contact.
challenge, and Golden State will receive their timeout back.
Golden State will get their timeout back.
At the time of the whistle, there was no imminent possession, and play will resume with a jump ball.
No illegal contact, successful challenge.
Game at the time. Please reset the shot clock to 24.
I thought that was mostly basketball, but definitely a little bit of contact. But I think they got that one right. And if Kevin Knox had been able to grab that basketball, they would have had him in a possession. But instead, now you're going to have to go get the ball anyway, even though you won the challenge.
It's a jump ball.
Jumping up at center court with Post and McDaniels.
146 left. Jump ball in center court. Minnesota up by 13.
Golden State, since emptying its bench, has now made.
And the Timberwolves will get that. And no, the Warriors will get that. It's Santos and makes it up, and nope. Misses it. And the second chance points misses.
The final 90 seconds, but the Warriors come up empty.
So going back to Minnesota. DiVincenzo going in. Oh, and he falls.
DiVincenzo hits the floor.
This bench is just thinking, please get this last 124.
Gets picked up. I think he got fouled, so 2 free throws for Donovan DiVincenzo.
Let's go back. We didn't get a chance really to answer the question because of the challenge, but assuming Minnesota hangs on and then 3 chances to get to the next round, how dangerous is this team big picture in the championship conversation?
Absolutely no question whatsoever. They are a threat to not only get to the finals, but to potentially win a championship. I just look at the way
missed the first one
right now in particular. And he has really found his groove. They've got star talent.
Makes the second one. 14-point game. 124 left.
They're not as deep as probably you would like, playing 8 guys every night. But they're a very complete basketball team. This has been impressive what they've done here tonight.
And the 2 best teams in the East are
and
Boston.
That's in.
Jason Tatum. Again, we don't know the update yet. Maybe have that on SportsCenter for you. Santos with the
And Santos makes it in.
10-point game.
10-point game with 102 left.
Down 3-1 have won the series just 4% of the time.
Has happened, but
it'd
be crazy.
Teams in 293 instances of
Out of bounds.
3-1
Gonna stay with Minnesota.
to win. So that's what the Celtics are facing. And that's what it looks like the Warriors are going to be facing, barring a miracle here in the last 55 seconds.
And it's always a different scenario depending on the circumstances. In this case,
Yeah, so
by winning 2 here, they
Steph will be reevaluated on Wednesday. And that's the next game.
Shot clock at 8.
Don't think I'll be alive for that. Nas Reed misses.
Golden State ball. Warriors got to hurry. Down 10. Santos with a
Santos. Nope.
There's Moody.
Mooney for 3 misses. And that's going to be it.
A foul. We'll send Alexander Walker to the line.
So Nickeil Alexander-Walker will shoot 2 free throws. But that'll do it here. The Minnesota Timberwolves will win. They'll go up 3-1 in the Western Conference semifinals. The Golden State Warriors will have to battle back from 3-1 deficit
in this series is really all about.
It's unfortunate for them, but, honestly, you kind of expected it when Steph Curry got injured in Game 1. You kind of expected that, Game 2, Game 3, and now Game 4 were going to be tough. They did not win any of those games. They won the first game, the game that Steph initially got injured, but yeah.
How about the parity right now in the NBA? Spencer is fouled. You've got a chance in the East.
So Pat Spencer gets fouled. 2 free throws for him.
In terms of seeds in the conference finals, and you've got a 6th seed in Minnesota. Going to be 1 win away from going to the conference finals.
Yeah, right now, you look at the 3 teams, I think, in this league that were the cream of the crop all season. When you got Cleveland, Boston in the East, Oklahoma City in the West.
Pat Spencer makes the first one.
Teams, the position they're in right now, Cleveland down 3-1. They've had some injuries. Boston obviously down 3-1. And Jason Tatum going down tonight. Oklahoma City sitting here at 2-2. They got done what they had to by winning game 4.
And they made both.
I don't think they've played their best basketball yet of the postseason, but they won 68 games this year.
It really feels as wide open as it ever has in the NBA playoffs. I don't think many people predicted going in the teams that are leading their respective series 3-1.
So 20.4 seconds left.
Teams that got knocked out in the
Out of
first round,
bounds.
and some people thought would
19.9.
That OKC Denver series is a long way from over. It's 2-2, and Denver's got Nikola Jokic last time I looked, and a team that has won big games on the road in the playoffs during this era.
Out of bounds once again,
Minnesota
17.5.
getting sloppy there at the end, but still up 10 with 17 seconds left.
And that'll do it.
Edwards, Chris Finch keeping the other starters on the floor.
Santos for 3, makes it.
But is it too late? 7 points with 10 seconds to go. They got a foul. They don't, but DiVincenzo throws it away. But can you get 3 possessions in 5.6 seconds?
This could make it a 4-point game. But it's 5.6. Go. Misses.
The answer's no.
That's it.
That took 4
seconds left.
That's a second last 7-point game. The Minnesota Timberwolves
And that'll do it.
The Golden State Warriors 3 games to
The
1.
Minnesota Timberwolves win 117-110 against the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco, California. Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle hugging it out there. Here's Steph looking all upset.
Steph Curry be back on Wednesday? Will be reevaluated.
Yep, Steph will be reevaluated Wednesday. Might play Wednesday night. He's going to play. I think he will. It depends on if I'm going to be live, though.
Tim Legler, Katie George, your entire ESPN crew. Dave Paff saying so long. Sports Center up next. Anthony Edwards will join as a guest.
Anthony Edwards will join Sports Center.
Highlights from both games tonight on ESPN. So long from San Francisco.
So we'll wait for that.
I'm not saying the management of Dallas needed a redemption. But that draft lottery, they should start thanking the draft lottery gods. He's David, I'm Nicole. Anthony Edwards is going to join us. We're going to count in seconds. So the Celtics, they have issues, and it's more than just the tennis.
Jason Tatum leaves in a wheelchair, not good. 3-1 deficits also not good. The Warriors had hoped to avoid falling into that same spot. Didn't go that way. A quick look back at where Game 4 flipped Monday night. We start with the third quarter.
Anthony Edwards will join Sports Center momentarily.
The left gets the foul shot to go as well. Later, still in the third, Edwards firing away from outside.
Within just probably a few seconds here.
In the third quarter, and this is where Minnesota made their hay. They won the third by 22 points. A 17-0 run there. In the fourth, Julius Randle picking up where Ant left off. Randle had 31, Ant had 30, and the Timberwolves take the 3-1 series lead.
There's Ant.
Let's get to the goal.
There he is right there, Anthony Edwards joining us now. Hey, congratulations on this win. The third quarter was obviously a massive turning point, not just for you, but for the team. What was the message at halftime that helped propel what you guys did in the second half?
We just didn't look like we came out like we had won a game already, like we had won a series already, and When we came in at halftime, Coach told us, like, man, we playing like some losers. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a loser mentality right now. And we wasn't being aggressive on defense. We wasn't being aggressive on offense. We was just playing so loose. We wasn't attacking the ball or attacking the basket. So we just had to pick it up.
Like, you internally, you're a competitive guy. When the coach says you're playing like a loser, what does that do to your competitive spirit?
It lifted it. He told me I wasn't defending at a high level. I needed to be better offensively, create for my teammates, create for myself, and be more aggressive. So I came out and tried to do that.
You also came out in this game, and we saw you practicing the night very early on. Then you went out and hit the 6 threes in this game, including the buzzer beater at the end of the first half. What was your strategy when it came to the threes tonight?
I mean, it's the same every night, man. Let it fly. I work on it, man. Like I told Steph, I was working with him all summer, man. So big shout out, big credit to him, man. You know, so he influenced me to be able to shoot the ball really
teammates.
well. So I went back in the summer and started working on it once I left him, and I got better at it. So just let it fly.
See, you hang around with him and you just get better at things. What do you want to say about Julius Randle? 31 points from him tonight. Probably playing some of the best basketball of his career. What's he doing for this team?
Man, man, listen, I can't describe. I'm lost for words, man. He was, I think in the first quarter, what he had like 19.
I think so.
Yeah,
Finished with 31.
He was incredible, man. He was making shots that's like I'm not used to seeing people make on a daily basis. So I told him, I was like, he cold, you know. So it's a famous line we got in Atlanta. He cold, he know it.
All right, so look, game 5, you get to go home to a place that is historically cold, but like in a different definition. You get to go home, you get to try to close out this series.
What's up, nephew? What's up, my boy? You say what?
You get to go home now. You get to try to close out this series in 5. How do you do it? How do you make it happen?
We just got to be aggressive. We can't take no plays off. We know they're going to come out. Like I said, this is a championship DNA team. They battle tested, man. We know they're going to come out and be ready to play, man. So we got to be ready to go.
You know, I think the last time we had you on SportsCenter, I think you were fined by the NBA for almost swearing. So congratulations. We made it through. No fines this time. Let's go.
I made it through.
All right, we'll talk to you Wednesday.
All right.
Talk to you Wednesday? Yeah. I mean, they know it. I mean, yeah. So that was Anthony Edwards. Thanks for him for doing the NBA thing and being cool and the ESPN. Yeah. All right. So the Minnesota Timberwolves win 117-110 against the Golden State Warriors. They will come up to 3-1 of the series. They could clinch it Monday night in Minnesota. And yeah, Jaden McDaniels scored 10 for the Timberwolves. Julius Randle scored 31. Rudy Gobert scored 8. Anthony Edwards scored 30. Mike Conley scored 11. Donovan DiVincenzo scored 9. Naz Reid scored 5. Nickeil Alexander-Walker scored 13. And then Clark, Dillingham, Garza, Ingles, Miller, Minot, and Shannon Jr. all did not play. For the Golden State Warriors, Jimmy Butler scored 14. Draymond Green scored 14. Trace Jackson Davis scored 5. Buddy Hield scored 13. Brendan Podziemski scored 11. Gary Payton Jr. scored 3. Jonathan Kuminga scored 23. Looney scored 8. Key scored 0. Moody scored 3. Santos scored 7. Quentin Post scored 5. Knox scored 2. Pat Spencer scored 2. Steph Curry was out with the injury tonight. So yeah. Yeah, that's going to do it. I want to thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Honestly hope Jason Tatum is okay. That's honestly the main kind of thing I'm concerned about at the moment. Hope he's doing alright, you know. I think obviously, I mean, the general consensus is that he is done for the year. So that really does suck for him. Started the year. Honestly started the year as, in the Olympics. But, ends the year injured. Really sucks. I saw a few people saying that he may never play basketball again. I don't think that's true. I think he'll be back next year, but yeah, damn shame. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out. This is my longest NBA stream ever. Peace out.